Hello everybody and welcome to something completely different. Today we are doing, as I say, something a little different. I wanted to do something new, which was still art adjacent. So today we are trying out a different idea I had, that being a design critique. So we'll do these maybe every now and then. We'll take a game or maybe a set of characters or a character from a game and then critique their designs as however they change and whatsoever. A collection of designs here and there, what have you. But today I may have bitten off more than I can chew, because today we are doing a design critique on the Mortal Kombat ninjas. So there's a lot of them. This might take a while. But anyways, I'll roll the intro and then we'll get into it, and I'll explain a bit more of the format as we're going. So anyways, roll the intro.
Let's go.
So, now that we are back from the intro and I'm adjusting my curtains, which didn't work at all, I desperately need this fan on, or else I may genuinely combust. Speaking of combusting, we are doing Scorpion first, but yeah, the fan thing. That needs to be on. There might be some fan noise you might hear in the background. I have noise cancellation that I use anyways for computer noise, so we'll see how well that does for cancelling out the fan, but in any event there may be a little bit of fan noise that you have to worry about. But I'll do my best. Anyways, so we are doing Scorpion first. And what that means is, for the first Mortal Kombat, a lot of these ninjas do look identical. For the first like 3 or 4, they don't start to diverge for a while. It's Mortal Kombat 4 they start to diverge. The rules are as such. We're sticking pretty religiously to the mainline games. There's 1 or 2 diversions here and there. A couple of them that I forgot about. I think we're just gonna leave it there. But yeah, there's maybe 1 or 2 that kind of float outside of the typical series, the mainline games. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing for the most part. But yeah, first up, we got Scorpion. We're doing these character by character, so we'll do all of Scorpion, then on to Sub-Zero, then so on and so forth. But yeah, so firstly we got Scorpion. I mean, realistically, there's not much to critique about his first design. It's a ninja. He looks like a ninja. I think across the board, I'm going to give the Mortal Kombat 1 ninjas probably a 5. They're very iconic, but they're a good baseline for our ranking system. And yes, we are ranking them a little bit. But the important thing to note is that the numbers are made up and don't matter. Not really anyways. Well, if they matter to you, they matter to you. If not, oh well, I can't do anything about that. Anyways, so yeah, they're iconic designs. The kind of the poses and everything are part of it, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I never really thought about it until now, but Scorpion's Mortal Kombat 1 pose is very much this kind of like, he's really getting into it with the kind of the fist pumping going on. But overall, it's a 5. Not much to say, I think, about the original Scorpion, because it's Scorpion. What are you gonna do? But yeah, it is very iconic. It's a good design. This is the thing, but it's a baseline. It is a mid-tier kind of design. And so now we're gonna be going into ones where we're getting a little bit different. We're diverging around to Mortal Kombat 2. So with Mortal Kombat 2, the design isn't really that much different. The masks obviously got this a little bit more design going on. The overall, the colored part of their robe got this kind of cross-hatched, like kind of cushioning to it, I suppose. I'm trying to think of the word now. It has that little bit of patterning that kind of, we'll just move on to the next one, because the next one is also this. It's got that kind of pattern. It's kind of a lot cleaner. It's a lot cleaner looking. There's a little bit less mess. But that said, there's less contrast going on here in game. But well, also, yeah, in the previous image, you can see that this is obviously where they introduced the white eyes for Scorpion, and they kind of persisted with that for the most part. But yeah, I think this is a good one. I think it's an improvement. It's a 6. It's a 6. It's not, again, it's not like mind-blowingly different. But then we get to Mortal Kombat 3. Now Mortal Kombat 3's one, I don't love it. It's still good, but there's this kind of like odd, like kind of like techno-y thing going on with like the patches and stuff here. The pattern isn't as compelling to me, and a lot of the colors are a lot duller, which is a little, yeah, again, it's a little less interesting. That's mostly for the ninjas. A lot of the other characters have more vibrant colors, but yeah. Yeah, I'd say Mortal Kombat 3 is maybe, it's a 6 as well, I'd say. Even though I do like the Mortal Kombat 2 one more, but they're very basic. Very basic. So there's not really much to say here or there. I do want to get through these as quickly as possible because it took me like 2 hours to assemble all these images. Which, you'll notice as we're going along that whenever I had to check the Mortal Kombat wiki to verify which what characters counted as ninjas, yeah, there's a lot of them. So yeah, first things first. Now I'm gonna have to zoom in a little bit on this. So Mortal Kombat 4. This is where we start getting into the divergence of the design a little bit. So there's this weird quality to the masks in Mortal Kombat 4 where they've got this kind of like big fat part to the back of their head. I don't really know why they do that. It looks kind of weird. I don't know why it's there. I don't like it all that much. And they've still got this kind of patchy patterning to their designs, which kind of, the colors are brighter. They've still got these kind of patchy patternings to their robes, which kind of separate away the colors, and there's a lot less of their color. And so there's a lot more of the just kind of the black there. Scorpion does have this belt here though, which is weird. That's kind of his unique feature, I suppose, in Mortal Kombat 4, is that he's got the belt. And his mask is also very different. He's got this kind of like skull shape, which I think is cool. It is actually alright, but again, I think it would be hard to say it goes beyond a 6 to me. It might even be a 5. Might even be a 5, because it's definitely not as good as Mortal Kombat 2. I'd say it's a 5. I'd say it's a 5. It's not terrible, but it's a lot weaker. It's a lot weaker than even Mortal Kombat 3, because Mortal Kombat 3 has like has definitely bigger patches, which kind of you get a little bit more of the color going on there. And I think, see, the belt is an odd decision because it's still the same body piece. It's still the same, yeah, like waist piece here, but they've just now got this big weird skull belt on there, which is just kind of weird looking. I don't know. Yeah, that's Mortal Kombat 4. Yeah, it's a 5. It's a 5 for me. Now we can zoom back out. We're gonna have to do this quite a lot, I would say. So now we've got Deadly Alliance Costume 1, because this is where we start getting into 2 costumes. I actually don't mind this. There's I don't know about the scarf though. Yeah, I don't know about the scarf. His mask doesn't have much going on. It's very flat. The colors are really dull here. It is the PS2, so there's a certain degree of slack to be cut there. But this pattern is a little odd that he's got going on. This kind of mesh makes it look like it's a kind of like a very either, because it's so thick, it's like a thick knit kind of material. Either that or it's like chainmail with the kind of patterning. It's obviously hard to tell because it's a very old model. But yeah, and this is a thing which we're going to see every now and then. Is, I mean, you can't see my mouse, but you can see the like shoulder plate that he's got there on the left, which just looks kind of weird. Don't know about it. This is also where they started leaning a little bit more on Scorpion having some more kind of samurai elements. He's still a ninja, but he's got the 2 swords, which later got moved down to the belt, and then obviously the spear was around the wrist, even though I can't tell if it's around the wrist or if it's on his belt. Either way, it's gigantic. It's real strange. You know, all these skulls and all this, I don't hate it, but it's a 4. I don't hate it, but it's a 4. Yeah. It's mediocre. I think it could be better. Yeah, I think you could do this exact same thing more or less and just make it look better. I think there's definitely better ways of doing this. His face also looks like it's like painted on. There's like a weird quality to his face there. I don't know if that's just me. Yeah, it's a 4. So costume 2 for Deadly Alliance is kind of the same thing, but I think it's a lot better. I do actually like this, believe it or not. I like Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider looks cool, and this is just Ghost Rider. He's not got the mask or anything, he's just got the skull and it's on fire. I'm assuming this looks pretty bad in-game, most likely. I don't have many images of in-game. But I'm assuming this probably doesn't look great in-game. I like the wrap on the arm. I don't mind that as compared to the rest of it. Chains. Could maybe do without them. He's got this like big collar piece here, which I didn't notice before. Yeah, I mean it's the only way you can really blend from the skull into his normal body, because otherwise it'd look weird. The more I'm thinking about this, the fact that the skull and there's also so much skin showing is part of what's so weird about it. I kind of wish that they'd wrapped him up a little bit more so that it wouldn't draw so much attention to the fact that his bare skin is showing and he's also a skeleton. It also feels like this is like shorter. No, it's the same length. There's very little yellow in his design. They've transitioned to gold. You can even see in his logo that it's gold, which I don't like. I don't really like it being gold. It's very dull, very dull. I think this one's a 5. I think this one's a 5. I really don't hate it, but it's quite bland. It's very bland. I obviously can't see the whole thing, but I don't think there's anything interesting going on below the waist, I would say. So now we've got Deception? Yeah, Deception. So this is where, again, they decided we're going to lean a little bit more into the armor, a little bit more into the kind of samurai ninja, a little bit more into, yeah, the kind of like ninja knight. There's a couple of characters who have that same kind of odd design element of where they've got a lot of armor, even though they're supposed to be a ninja. He's also got like a lot of this kind of like, again, he's got some of that same patterning, that kind of like padded look to it of the cross-hatched kind of materials. And he's got it around the belt, he's got it around his waist, he's got it on his mask, he's got it on his shoulder. I don't know about it. He's got these kind of inlays on the armor, but is that a dragon? But that's kind of like a serpent dragon, like a Chinese dragon. I don't know. I think this one's a 4 as well. I think this one's the same ranking as the Deadly Alliance one. I don't much like this. I don't much care for it. Did he have a different costume in this game, or does it go straight to the next game? Oh, we did have a different costume in this game, but it's just the Mortal Kombat 4 one without the big head. You know, I actually think this one's a 5. I think this one's a 5. It's a decent enough rendering of his costume from 3 and 4. He's obviously got some more of the elements of 4 because he's got the more detailed mask with kind of like sort of skull shape. Hang on, I'll zoom in a little bit so I can have a better look. Yeah, it's kind of got a skull shape to it going on with the kind of the nose and the cheekbones. He's got the ninja toe, which I don't know if he already had before. He looks a little toyish. I don't know if that's just the proportions, but he does look a little toyish. He's got these like big hands and big feet. Yeah, I think it's a 5. I don't think there's anything much to say about this. It's not crazy. It's not terrible. Oh wow, I didn't really. Oh yeah, Armageddon's just all the same costumes more or less. I think Scorpion might have a couple like slightly different costumes. But otherwise we're mostly going to be skipping Armageddon because most of the characters aren't very different. But yeah, so now we've got Mortal Kombat vs. DC, and that is technically a mainline game. It is Mortal Kombat 8 by all definitions. I really don't mind this costume. I think this is like a 7. So there's an element which they introduce here for Scorpion, which is a lot of the kind of They decided that they were going to go very, very hard for the scorpion motifs and the kind of the bones and stuff like that. Like his mask, he's got like a face hugger on, and he's got the like around the forehead. He's got these kind of like scorpion kind of inlays that go into like the legs and stuff like that. And I don't mind it. And again, he's still keeping the kind of patterning that he's had since Mortal Kombat 2, and I do actually like that. I think it suits him. But I don't think that it keeps going for very long after this. Yeah, you know what? I think it's like a 7, maybe a 7.5. I like it. It's very simple. It's very simple, but it still works. Again, it's still a very gold kind of yellow. It's a little dull for my taste. I would like it if it was a little brighter, but we'll get to games where it's brighter. But yeah, the kind of the color composition just of Scorpion in general. Again, this is another thing which improves. But the color composition of Scorpion in general is something which I don't necessarily love, especially in the earlier games, with just the kind of the yellow, maybe a gold inlay here and there, then the black and maybe some silver. I think it's very basic. Yeah, it's a 7. 7.5, I think. 7.5 is fair. So now we're on to Mortal Kombat 9. This is a rendering from Mortal Kombat 11, I believe. It's art, but I think this is like more based on that version. I don't mind. I don't mind Mortal Kombat 9's design. Again, they kept very, very close to the kind of... There's lots of scorpion design on him. He's got the, like, again, his mask looks kind of like face huggery. It's got, like, this big scorpion in the middle of it. And then his boots and everything have all these, like claws and spikes and stuff on them. And even his swords have that kind of... At the handle, there's these... like... a scorpion tail, and then it's the same with his shoulder pads. The shoulder pads, I think the shoulder pads are too much. I like the wrap on his arms. I like the wrap. I think that actually works a little better than the I don't know how to describe them. Those like silver armlets. Well, they were black, but the armlets that you see on a lot of like, they're very old-fashioned design on it. You see them on a lot of like pulp heroes and stuff like that. I think occasionally there'd be like some... I think maybe Conan had them once or twice in some older comics. I couldn't say for certain. But yeah, there's a lot of like... Again, there is a bit of a problem in Mortal Kombat with some kind of over-design. Because yeah, you can even see on a lot of those black bits, there's like really a lot of stuff going on, a lot of extra lines, and on his legs there's like all these extra lines and things which I don't think really need to be there. You can do some of this stuff. Again, more lines does not mean that it's more interesting looking, because he's even got the same kind of like scaly pattern on his head. There's like spikes. It's like a kind of like a bony kind of thing going on. I don't know. Yeah, I think this one's a 7, not a 7.5, but just a 7. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. It's a 7. Now we've got all the other designs from Mortal Kombat 9. Right, I mean, we've already talked about Mortal Kombat versus DC. We talked about the main one. Now this third one. I don't like this at all. I think that they've removed some of the Scorpion motifs which I think were intrusive, like his shoulder pads. His shoulder pads, I mean, they still have that little, like, kind of Scorpion inlay on the silver. And it's very armory, which again, I don't love a lot of the armory stuff. And he's back to these, like, actual, like, kind of maybe metallic or leather kind of, like, straps around his arms, which just kind of don't do anything. His gauntlets look huge. And they've got like this kind of scully, kind of like weird, like maybe chitinous. Look, no, it is a skull. It's just kind of a weird texture. I think the big problem I have is the mask. I think the mask looks kind of daft. I think as compared to the other one, the mask is a little much. He's got these weird little buttons on his chest as well. I think this one's a 5. think this one's a 5. I don't hate it. It's reasonably well modeled. He's got very veiny arms as compared to the other ones. It's well modeled. It's not for me. It's not for me. I feel like whenever they really go over the top with a lot of the skulls and stuff like that, it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me with Scorpion. Oh yeah, this is one of our diversions. So yeah, one of our diversions with Injustice Scorpion. Again, I like the hood. This is obviously very, very over the top. The kind of the Jim Lee design. There's a lot of these bits of where you've got the kind of the like the fangs, or his spikes that he's got on his shoulder. These kind of like claws that he's got coming out of his shoulders. I don't mind the bits that kind of actually like adhere to his shoulders and wrap around, but I don't like these bits that kind of stick up. They're a little much for me. There's a lot of patterns going on here, a lot of lines, a lot of this stuff on the legs. Again, I've talked about this before, but it just feels kind of weird. I don't like the spikes, the big gauntlet spikes. I think if they didn't have the spikes, it might be a little better. Again, he's got a lot of that Scorpion design to it. He's even kind of got the cross-hatching on his face back from Deception, which I didn't love there. I think it's a 6. I think it's a 6. Being fair, I think it's a 6. Yeah, I think being fair, it's a 6. I don't mind it. I think in motion it looks better. I think Scorpion's one of the cooler looking characters in Injustice in terms of movement. In terms of how he animates and how he moves around, but I can't say I'm in love with the design. I can't say I'm in love with it. Yeah, I think there's better versions of this type of thing. Okay, so now we've got Mortal Kombat X. Now, a lot of people say that this is one of Scorpion's best designs. There's a hell of a lot of belts going on. There's a hell of a lot of belts. Don't get me wrong, I don't dislike it, but there's a lot of problems that I'm having here. He's got a lot of belts, he's got all these straps and belts on his arms and belts on his gauntlets, and he's got these, again, belts on his shoulders, belts on his waist where there should be belts maybe, but you can even see like the actual robe part is belted onto the rest of the armor, and again it's very armory. And this is maybe one of his more iconic designs, I would say, because yeah, it's definitely one of his more iconic designs, I would say, because of stuff like, again, the hood, even the mask. I think the mask does look cool. I think it's one of his cooler looking masks. They haven't gone too overboard with a lot of the motifs, but in the same sense, I feel like he maybe needs some sort of patterning going on. He's got a little bit of it on that kind of like side piece, but that's seemingly just kind of the kind of material being like kind of weathered. It's the same, yeah, it's more weathered just material, because he's got it on his gauntlet, or not his gauntlet, his kind of, yeah, his wrist straps as well. It's that kind of like bit of weathering going on there. Yeah, lots of buckles. I don't know what this giant belt buckle is. It doesn't seem to necessarily adhere to the actual belt. I think I'd be remiss to not give it a decent score, because it is a good design, it's very iconic, but damn, there's so many belts. And again, Mortal Kombat X, I have a bit of a problem with Mortal Kombat X's design, mostly in terms of color. A big thing which I look for, I've mentioned this in the art videos if you watch them, is that I greatly look for, or a thing which I greatly enjoy in design, is adherence to color theory. So in terms of colors, I generally think the primary color of the design, in Scorpion's case, yellow or gold, depending on which game you're looking at, I feel like that color should be really brought out. That should be a really bright color. I don't think that there's anything about this design that's really drawing out the yellow. It's drawing out the gold of his mask. I think actually the hood does draw out the gold on his mask. The black hood does draw out that gold, because black and gold go very naturally together. But I don't think the brown straps really brings anything out. I don't think the kind of, even these kind of like silvery, maybe black, I don't know if it's just the lighting. It's all very quite dull. That's Mortal Kombat X is just the lighting is very dull, the colors are very dull. It was 2014, so I mean that's kind of the nature of the beast. No, it's 2015. 2015 was when it came out, and yeah, very dull colors. I think I'd be remiss to not give it a good score, because it is very iconic, very recognizable. But I'd say maybe an 8. It's an 8. It's one of his better designs. It is definitely one of his better designs. I'd be remiss to not give it a decent score, but I think we will see later on that there is a version of this type of design that I think works way better, but for a different character. But I'll get to that. So next we've got this one. We've got the Cold War costume with a K, of course. I think this sucks. I think this is... Being fair to it, no, I think it's terrible. Like, I think there's an idea here with like the gas mask, the kind of angry looking, he's got like the angry eyes, the gas mask. It's just not very good. It's just not very good. It's a 3. It's a 3. I really don't like this. Yeah, I really don't like this. I don't like the chains. There's nothing going on with his arms. It feels like his arms are very plain. There's something kind of wrestlery about it, which just doesn't work here. I think there's nothing wrong with having a kind of a wrestlery design whenever it works with the character. But here it just looks weird. Yeah, I don't like this at all. This is a 3. This is a 3. What else we got? What else we got for this? Okay, we've got normal Hanzo Scorpion. I think most of this design is okay. I think he's got an interesting looking head, more or less, but he's mostly just a man with a beard. He's got his yellow headband. Again, I think this costume actually draws out his colors a lot better than his other design, than his main design for the game, because there's more of his colors in there. He's got more of the, like, his yellow actually sticks out a little bit more. It occupies more time and space in the design, which I do prefer. But in the same sense, it's just not as compelling. Something about it isn't as compelling. This white, I don't know that the white necessarily serves any part of the design. I think it's a 7. I think it's a 7. I think I'm going to give this one a 7. Because, yeah, it doesn't really grab me. Maybe I'll zoom in just to maybe show off a little bit more of it. Yeah, I don't dislike it. It is good. Again, a 7 is a good number. For me, I should probably maybe give a bit of an understanding of the number scheme that I tend to go for. Again, it's made up. I'm making this up as I go along, kind of. I'm rating these against each other, not against anything else. So if I do another one of these videos on a different game, different characters, so on, that's not indicative of the quality of these ratings. It's more just, again, they're rated against each other within the video. So outside of this video, it's a different scale, sort of. But yeah, for me, I would say the way to divide it up is 1, 2, and 3. That's bad. 1, 2, and 3 is bad. 0 is awful. 0 is the worst thing ever. 0 doesn't even count. 1, 2, and 3 is bad. 4, 5, and 6 is like, it's okay. 4 is the kind of below average. 6 is above average. 7, 8, 9, pretty good. And 10 is obviously, it's perfect. I don't really have any complaints for 10. And I'm going to use decimal every now and then. It's just a little easier for me to rationalize things. But yeah, this is, I think, a 7. It's good, but I don't love it. It's on the lower end of good. Yeah, it's alright. So now what do we got? Ooh. Mortal Kombat 11 Scorpion. Mortal Kombat 11 Scorpion. I think the red does a lot. I also think that the red can kind of detract from Scorpion's overall color balance, because you're introducing a secondary primary color, because of course the primary color is red, blue, yellow. You're introducing a second primary color, and he does still have a lot of belts. They're a little bit more reserved on the belts. It's a little over-designed in parts. I like the way that the spear kind of wraps around into the gauntlet. I think that looks cool. I like the two swords on his belt, the kind of the more kind of traditional samurai kind of positioning of the blades. I prefer that. He's got these kind of little tassels though on his like big shoulder piece. The hood, again, they've stuck to the hood. I think the hood is a really good part of Scorpion's design. I think the hood is really cool. I think his mask looks really cool in this. It's got some of those skull elements. It's got some of that design there. It's got a lot of design on it. It looks very functional. It's got the kind of the skull nose and stuff like that. I think he's got a like, again, the way the shadows are cast on his eyes looks cool. Again, Mortal Kombat 11 is just a very, very good looking game. I think Mortal Kombat 11 in some ways looks better than Mortal Kombat 1, the new one. Hate that they called it that, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I think the red does distract a little bit, but I think it overall works as a good accent to the yellow. I think the silver is good. It's not perfect. I don't have many complaints. He looks like an armored ninja, which is a very hard thing to pull off, especially as you can see in the previous designs. It's something we've struggled with, is pulling off the armored ninja look. But yeah, I like it. I do like it. I think it's... I'm struggling here. I don't know if it's an 8 or a 9. I don't know that it's good enough to be a 9. But I would feel bad giving it an 8. 8.5. 8.5 I think is what we're rolling with. Yeah, I think an 8.5. It's a good design. I think it is Scorpion's, might be his best design, I think. Do we have... We do. We do have Mortal Kombat 1. I don't actually really like this all that much. I don't love a lot of the new designs in Mortal Kombat 1. I think they're a little plain. And again, I think it's a case of where in some elements Mortal Kombat 11 has some very over-designed designs, and in some elements with Mortal Kombat 1 they're a little plain, they're a little underdeveloped. I like the red. Again, they've stuck with the red, which I enjoy. I think the gold of the mask could stand to be brighter. I think that's something which is maybe bothering me. I don't love the shape of the mask. He's got this nose, so it's maybe carrying some elements of the kind of some kind of, even in the movies. I believe he has that kind of nose to his mask. I don't love the nose. It looks kind of silly to me. I don't love the Scorpion tattoo. It feels very similar to that stuff where they're like, how do we get this Scorpion design in there? How do we make him Scorpion? I don't think he needs to have Scorpion elements to his design. He needs something. There's patterns here with like the way that the robe has this kind of like soft lines going through it that make it kind of a little bit padded, a little bit kind of... like if someone were to hit it, there would be enough resistance for it. It wouldn't hurt. Well, it would still hurt, but it wouldn't be like really painful. He's a little thinner than he was in Mortal Kombat 11 as well. A lot of the characters in Mortal Kombat 1 are a lot thinner than they were in 11, which I don't love. Yeah, I think this one's a step back. I think this one's a 7. I think this one's a step back. I think it's still good. I think he needs a hood. I think Scorpion needs a hood. I think that's part of it. Is Scorpion needs a hood. Scorpion needs some of these more kind of maybe again. They're going for something very different because this Scorpion isn't the same character from the other games. It's confusing. He's Sub-Zero's brother now. It's confusing. I don't fully understand it. I don't love it, but yeah, I think it's a 7. I think it's a 7. I'm happy to give it a 7. I would say, yeah. I'd say I'd be happy to give it a 7. It's decent, not bad, but there's a lot of stuff in there which I don't love. So now I have to reorganize things because I've got multiple windows going on here. And now we got to move on to Sub-Zero. Got to move on to Sub-Zero. So yeah. Sub-Zero. I'm going to mostly adhere to the ratings that I gave for a lot of the other stuff. So, Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat 1, original. Mortal Kombat 1992, that's how I have to refer to it now. Because technically, Mortal Kombat 1 is Mortal Kombat 1, and this one is Mortal Kombat 1992. Very confusing, because there's 2 different Mortal Kombats just called Mortal Kombat. But anyways, I think I kind of prefer his animation. I think I prefer his default animation. I think the kind of he's moving slower, he's more relaxed, cool, you could say. He's moving a little cooler, a little bit more composed than Scorpion. Scorpion's obviously kind of like, he's doing that kind of like rave dance, which is kind of intense. But Sub-Zero is a little bit more subdued. I don't mind it. I think it's still 5, obviously. It's a good baseline to start out with. But yeah, it's a 5. It's decent. Oh god, we're going to need to zoom in a little bit for this. Mortal Kombat 2, a little faster. He's still got the subdued kind of ready to do a karate chop almost kind of hand position. And you can see the kind of, with the gauntlet, that it's this kind of, or the gauntlet, that's the only way I'm really going to describe it, with the glove piece. The wrist piece, that it is just bike gear. There's a charm to how kind of thrown together a lot of this stuff is. I think, again, Mortal Kombat 2's ninjas, with their patterning, with a lot of these elements, are they're good. They're a 6. They're good. Yeah, I like Mortal Kombat 2's ninjas well enough. And now this is where we get to questionable territory, because Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3, original, not Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, just in regular Mortal Kombat 3, because technically speaking, Scorpion wasn't in normal Mortal Kombat 3, he only appeared in Ultimate, so that was what I ranked was the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 version. And there was a classic Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which was a lighter blue than this, but he's just kind of the normal ninja design. It's a 6, maybe a 5. No, I think I said whatever I said for the last one. Was it a 5 or a 6? I don't remember. I think it's a 5. This one, dear God, this is a 4. He's very naked, which is an element that I don't love about this design. He's very naked. I really don't like this kind of like cabling that he's got on his arms. It looks uncomfortable, and it also just doesn't work very much. I do like the scar. I think the scar is cool, for lack of a better word. But he's a ninja. He needs a mask. I think even though I know what they were going for with the story of the game, that he's like outcast now and all this stuff, and this is also technically this is the same Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat 2, but not from Mortal Kombat 1. All this stuff is confusing. The timelines of Mortal Kombat are harder to follow than most franchises. It's harder to follow than the X-Men franchise, but yeah, regardless. Color composition's alright. Blue really stands out. The blue and the silver work well together, and I think that's something they realize as the designs go on. But yeah, I don't like this very much. I think this is a 4. He's very naked. Very naked. Yeah, I don't like it very much. Mortal Kombat 4. I think it's a step up. I think it's certainly better. They've kept the scar, which is good. They've given him a different type of mask. He's got this kind of flat mask with these little lines, so he can. So I don't think he has this in game yet. I think the idea that they're probably going for was that you'd see the cold breath coming out, because that's something they went for later in later games, that you can see the cold breath. But something which we're going to see after this, because this is a 6. It's a 6. It's about as good as his Mortal Kombat 2. I think it's about as good as the Mortal Kombat 2 ninjas. It's not amazingly well modeled, but this is, again, it's Mortal Kombat 4. Mortal Kombat 4 is not an amazing looking game by any standard. Even really for the time, it didn't. For the time, it would have been pretty good looking. I'll be fair. Maybe not on the N64, but yeah, it's 6. It's 6. But yeah, as I was saying, something which we're about to see very soon with these games is that they really did not know what they were doing when it came to a lot of the. When it came to a lot of Scorpion's designs, when it came to Sub-Zero's designs, they were reasonably consistent with Scorpion, of where they were like, we want this guy to look like kind of a spooky, armored ninja. But then they're like, do we really want him to be a ninja? Maybe, we're not sure. Is he samurai, is he ninja? They're kind of flirting with those ideas. But Sub-Zero, they were like, no, we want it to be a ninja, but he also has to be cold. He has to be cold. What does that mean? What does it mean that he has to be cold? So this is where things start getting weird. I don't remember what I actually gave Mortal Kombat 4 Scorpion. I think maybe it was lower than this, but again, I didn't love that one as compared to it. So, it begins. Where do we begin? So, Deadly Alliance. Sub-Zero. This is costume 1, he's got 2 of them. Let's start with the positives, because it's not a long list. I do actually like the frozen arms. I think that's a cool design. I think that's a cool design decision, again, for lack of a better word. There's very little blue on him otherwise, though, but they've decided to change his scar to be blue. Doesn't really make any sense. I don't know why he's so old. Is there a time jump in between Mortal Kombat 4 and Deadly Alliance that I'm not aware of? He's got this little bit of this kind of curling design on his trousers, which I don't mind. They revisit this design later on, and I prefer what they do with it later on, within reason. But damn, this is like a 3. He just looks weird. That's the big problem. Is there's very little blue in there otherwise, which again I don't like. Why does he look so old? It doesn't really make any sense. Was there someone this was supposed to be based on? Is there a reason why he's supposed to look so old? Yeah, and again, this is the thing. They're flirting with these weird ideas, and they don't really work, and it's just kind of questionable. I don't love it. I don't love it. I, in fact, don't really like it at all. It's a 3. This is okay. This is his alternate for Deadly Alliance. I can never really tell apart these games, to be perfectly honest. The PS2 games all kind of blend together. Again, I like the frozen arms. He's got a lot more blue on him this time. His robe, I think, looks cool. I think his robe looks cool. I think his mask looks cool. This is a mask which they come back to a few different times because, again, it's a good-looking mask. It looks good. I think the mask is cool. It is an interesting mask design. His eyes are blue. Which again, they were that way in the previous design. I don't like that his eyes are blue. I think Sub-Zero should have kind of human eyes. He's still got grey eyebrows. He's still got the blue scar, which again doesn't really make any sense to me. He's got this big kind of medallion. I think it's a 6. It's better than the baseline. But I think I'd be being way too generous if I gave it any more than that. Hell, you know what? This is a 5.5. I think it's not as good as Mortal Kombat 2. There's a lot of elements which I like. I like the mask. I like the frozen arms. Yeah, it's not as good as Mortal Kombat 2. I think it's too generous to put this on the same pegging as Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah. Well, that was Deadly Alliance. Deadly Alliance had some real duds in there for Sub-Zero, but now we've got some good stuff. This is a design that I really like. I like the kind of the Shredder mask. This render is slightly different. I remember I got 2 different versions of this because this render isn't quite accurate to how he looks in game. Yeah, he's got a fur collar in game. This is this is Mortal Kombat Deception, obviously. It says it right there. And yeah, I mostly like this for the mask. To be perfectly honest, I like it for the mask. A lot of the rest of this, I don't like these big, bulky kind of like button. They're like these big kind of bulky like pauldrons that he's got. They look kind of awkward. Are they armor? Are they design? Are they decorative? What are they there for? Why does he have 3 of them? Yeah. Well, we'll look at the other version of this first before we cast judgment. I prefer the fur collar. I think the fur collar makes it a lot more. Again, it doesn't really make sense. He's cold. He controls ice. I don't know why he needs a fur collar. It looks cool though, so I don't mind. And I feel bad giving this too high a score. Because there's a better version of this. It's a 6.5. 6.5. It's not great as in terms of how it's done. I really don't like the trousers. He's kind of bulky in ways that I don't think he should be. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love it. Yeah, I don't love the way that it's modeled. I mostly like it for the kind of head and neck piece. I think that's mostly where I like it for. It's a 6.5. They did this again. They did it again, but better. Now we've got... Oh, dear God. Oh, I don't know how much time I want to dedicate to this. Is he a ninja? Or is he a sorcerer? That is the big question I have here, is that he has a lot of these design elements of a lot of the Mortal Kombat sorcerers. He's got the baggy clothes. He's got a lot of these kind of like inlays and design. Which, again, I'm not sure if these are supposed to be armor or what. He's got the sash going around his waist. He's also got the big robe. It's very bulky, very heavy robes. And I'm not even going into his head. It's a 2. It's a 2. It's a 2. It's real bad. It's real bad. In terms of bad, there's probably worse. But this is real bad. I think this is... Would I be willing to say this is easily Sub-Zero's worst? I think so. I think so. I think this is probably Sub-Zero's worst. I'm calling it now. I think that, yeah, the robe looks bad. It doesn't suit him. It's very ill-fitting and baggy. He looks like a sorcerer. He doesn't look like a ninja. Why does he look like that? The mask is flat. It doesn't have anything going on with it. As compared to Shredder Sub-Zero, it's just really... It's just not as good. I mean, it's obviously not as good, but it's not even as good as any of his other ones. I think the just normal man Sub-Zero look better than this. Yeah, this is lame. This is a 2. This is terrible. This is terrible. Yeah, I don't like that. Oh yeah, those were Deception. I was confused there for a second because I was like, wait a minute. Where was Deception? Those were Deception. Okay. So we've got some things to talk about here. With... Yeah. So this is Mortal Kombat versus DC again. I do really like this, actually. Again, I don't love these armlets. I don't love the armlets. I think the shoulder pads are a little bulky. They don't necessarily fit him hugely. I don't love the kind of like the cross-hatched patterning. They really like that cross-hatched patterning. I don't know why. The kind of the padded look. I don't know why they really like it. It doesn't suit for me. It doesn't suit the ninjas all that much, I find. I think it kind of works for Scorpion, but maybe it doesn't work for Sub-Zero as much. Again, they kind of... This is kind of the point where they were kind of pretty clear with themselves about, well, what are Sub-Zero's colors? He's got blue, he's got black, and he's got silver. That's generally what they go for. I like the frozen arms. I think they look cool. I like the boots. I think the boots even look good. I like that he's got these kind of like blue trims on a lot of his stuff, but he could stand to have some more blue. I think again, I think his blue is maybe a little pale for my taste. I think I would make his blue a little deeper. I prefer the deeper blue. I think it's a 7. I think it's a 7. I think it's a decent design. I like the mask a lot. I think it's interesting that they've given him the scar, and they've come to a middle ground when it comes to his eyes, of where they're like, well, he's got the scar now. Maybe he's blind in that eye. He's got a frozen eye now. It's like, okay, yeah, all right. It's something. It's something. It's a nice middle ground to where he was before. I think it's better. I think it's better than just him having white eyes. I don't love the white eyes. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's a 7. It's a lower end of good. It's still good though. So now what do we got? Now we got default. We've got default Sub-Zero number 2 for Mortal Kombat 9. It's funny that he's actually got these same like little circular elements. I'm assuming that's maybe just an element of the ninjas, of the Lin Kuei ninjas, is that they've got these little badges on their robe. He's got mostly the same kind of head going on as Mortal Kombat vs. DC Sub-Zero. But I'll tell you what he has that I don't like that Mortal Kombat vs. DC Sub-Zero did not have. It's these goddamn sidearm pieces. Why are they doing that? It just doesn't look very good. I just don't like it. I don't like these sidearm pieces. I think it would actually look better if it was just normal arm down into glove. I think that would look a lot better. Down into wrap and bracer. I think it would look a lot better. Some of it's a little bulky. I think he's got this weird, almost like a scarf that he's got going on. This kind of like secondary underrobe, which I don't love. I think it's a 7 as well. I think it's a 7 as well, but I don't like it as much as... I don't like it as much as Mortal Kombat vs. DC. I think it's also a 7. I'm losing a little bit of track of my numbers, but I'm mostly just going based off of what I feel. The numbers that I feel at that moment. What number I'm feeling. So I'm feeling a 7 for this one. So right, we've got the other costumes. We've done Mortal Kombat vs. DC, we've done main one. Now we've got to do original Sub-Zero. Nearly said Scorpion. He's definitely a bad guy. He's definitely a bad guy because you can see he's got the spikes on his gauntlets. He's got a lot more black in there. His blue is a little darker. But I do like that he's got some of the paler blue of the original Sub-Zero in there with his, or some of the older designs with the mask. I like his mask maybe a little bit more than the second Sub-Zero's mask, because his mask is quite bulky. You can even see that it makes his head look quite big. With the middle one here, you can see it makes his head look a bit big. But I think the way that the original mask kind of conforms, looks a little bit sleeker, it's a little bit nicer. It is very plain. He's got a lot more blue. He's got this kind of like mesh thing going on with his shoulders that's kind of like see-through or something. It is very plain. He's got these goddamn belts. It's all these belts. Why do they love their belts so much? It's 6. Stop with the belts, NetherRealm. Stop it. Chill with the belts. I mean, maybe that's the story with why some of the designs in Mortal Kombat 1 are a little plain. Is, well, one, they're going back to basics. It's kind of the visual design, the visual motifs of the game as they're going back to basics. But maybe it's just to get away from those goddamn belts. There's so many belts in these designs. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about Cyber Sub-Zero, if only because I'm not going to be talking about any of the other robots, because most of them look the same. I don't think there's enough to really talk about. Their heads are the only different parts, and I mean, you've got Triborg and Mortal Kombat X, and they're all just mostly color palettes. They don't look significantly different. It's just really, which color do you like more, red or yellow, or the kind of grey, blue, purpley kind of color that Smoke kind of is sometimes. Sometimes he's just black, sometimes he's grey, sometimes it's inconsistent. I think Cyber Sub-Zero is cooler than most of the other ninjas, or most of the other robot ninjas, I mean. I think he's cooler than most of the other cyborg ninjas. I think Cyber Sub-Zero is pretty cool. I think he's a solid 8. I think he's a solid 8. He's good. I think he's a good design. I like the kind of, he's got some of these Predator elements with the hair. I mean, all of the, or with the cables, all of the more modern designs for the cyber ninjas have that, before they've got the kind of the like the dreads with the cables. I think it's cool. I think it looks cool. He's not too bulky. He's still sleek. He looks cool in motion. I like the glowing eyes. The glowing blue eyes look cool. He's an 8. He's an 8. I think he's a good. I think he's a cool design. I think he's real cool. Now we're on to Mortal Kombat X. Let me think for a second here. He's got a lot of knives. He's got a lot of knives. Jeez, I didn't even notice that before. His gauntlets are coated in knives. He's got the white eyes again. I hate the white eyes. Damn, I don't like the white eyes. Don't like the white eyes. I think the color on the robe is kind of cool. He's got this kind of, maybe, is that a skull or is that just like a weird like buckle on his belt? Damn, he's got a lot of knives, got lots of belts. Not as many belts as Sub-Zero or as Scorpion. Scorpion is just belt man. I think the robe is alright. I think the robe looks kind of cool. I like that it has these kind of little clasps that you can see going down the middle of it that kind of connect everything. I think that's kind of cool. I don't like the mask at all. I think the mask should be blue. I don't like that the mask is black. I don't like this weird little like snake tongue thing on it. Is he Reptile? Why does he have a snake tongue? Does he have like a back piece to the mask that like this coming down on the left side of the image here, where it kind of like connects into his shoulder? Is that like a back piece to the head? What is that? Does he have like a little bit of wrap on the back of it? I don't know. That's confusing. I'm not going to go searching for more images. It took me 2 hours to get all these goddamn images. I don't really like this. He's not got enough blue. He's not got enough blue. He's got these big, thick armlets, which I don't like. I generally don't like the armlets. They distract. They distract from a lot of the other colors. I think it would be, in terms of this design, I think the armlets are kind of necessary, because otherwise there would be a lot of skin showing, or otherwise there doesn't need to be. But I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't really like it all that much. I'm giving it a 6. I'm giving it a 6. It feels like a 6 to me. It feels like a 6. Right, I'm going to need to zoom out a little bit for this. So now we've got a normal man Sub-Zero. They love their beards. Here's a little secret I'm going to share with you. This is Design 101. How do you redesign a character, a male character specifically? You give him a beard. Look at any images online of people saying, this is my redesign of this character. I just slapped a beard on him. I'm guilty of it. I've done it before. You just slap a beard on him. I mean, he's got the scar. I don't like the white eyes. I don't like the white eyes. His beard looks kind of weird as well. His beard's got quite flat, clinging to his face. His hair is also quite cubey. I don't think Mortal Kombat X is a particularly good-looking game. Something about the texturing on a lot of this stuff, like the skin looks very weird and smooth. NetherRealm weren't very good at faces at the time. It was even with Injustice 1, I remember it was quite infamous with its faces, but yeah. I think this one's a 5. I think this one's a 5. It's reminding me a lot of the weird white hair design, and I don't like that design very much at all. Of course, it's not as bad as his weird bald ponytail look. It's reminding me a lot of a design I don't like very much. And also, he's got mostly the same robe with these weird kind of padded bits. There's a bit of Mortal Kombat 3 in there. Yeah, it's 5. Yeah, it's 5. I don't like it very much. I don't like it very much. Oh god. See, here we have a distinction which is important, because this is another one of these goddamn Cold War things. They have design elements. I really don't like it. It's probably a 4, but let me go into detail. What's this kind of position he's doing with his hand? It's a weird pose. He's got all these weird bits on his belt that I don't think work very well together. And here we can see a good comparison point for what I was saying before. He's got too much on his arms. Now he's not got enough on his arms, because he's got these tiny little gloves, but he's got completely bare arms. And it just doesn't mesh with the rest of the design. Like, he's got this big coat, but it's just not got sleeves. And like this undershirt, which kind of is like, it's like a kind of like a general shirt kind of thing. It's got a very, this kind of military shirt thing. And this big coat, and it just doesn't work for me. The mask sucks as well. The mask, the big kind of bulky headpiece, it looks like a football hat. One of those like skull cap things that the goalies wear. I don't like it. It's a 3. It's a 3. Yeah, I don't like it. Alright, now what do we got? Now we got this one. This is a slight variation. I mean, it's funny that I use the term variation. This is a slight variation on the normal version of this, because he's got the frozen mask. Normally you wouldn't have the frozen mask. I don't know which variation that is that gave him the frozen mask, but yeah. You know what? I think I'd like this more than his default in this game if he didn't have his hair sticking out. I think the hair looks weird. I think as Revenant designs go, this one's pretty decent. Yeah, as Revenant designs go, this one's pretty decent, but he's carrying a lot of the same design elements. His default Sub-Zero in this game, he's got those arm bits. He's got these... Yeah, they're not actually knives now that I think about it. I thought these bits on his gauntlet here were knives, but they're not. They're not knives. I'm going to be generous, I'm going to give this one a 6 as well, but I think I could like it more if he just had a ninja, the ninja hood, rather than his hair. I just don't like the ninja cowl, I mean, rather than a hood over his hair. I don't like it very much. Okay, now we get to go into Mortal Kombat 11. Now, I picked 2 Sub-Zeros for this one. I think I picked 2. Actually, I picked 3 for this one because there's some variation to his design here. There's some important things which I think are better. Don't like this. Don't like what's going on up here. Don't like that very much. Almost everything else of this design I actually really like. I don't actually know. I don't like this like weird like disc thing that he's got in his arm. I don't know what that's there for. I don't kind of get it. I like his blue. His blue is very deep. I like the deep blue. And again, his color composition is really good. I think the white accents the blue quite nicely. And I think his mask looks really cool with the kind of the straight line. That's the Sub-Zero mask to me, anyways, with these little breather holes and the kind of straight line down it. That's the Sub-Zero mask to me. I kind of wish he didn't have these, the kunai, is that what they're called? The little blades on his side belt. I don't think they're necessary, and I also think they look kind of silly blue. Maybe if they were silver, it might look a little better. I like most of this. I just don't like his hat. It looks like a hat. It doesn't look like a ninja cowl. And it comes up into like a weird little cone. Like it comes up into like this weird little nipple on the top, which I don't like. Yeah, I don't like the like flappy bit at the back. We're gonna need to start hitting into overtime, I think, with some of these, because we're already an hour in. We've got plenty more characters to go, and also it's starting to get dark. I think with that in mind, I'm actually going to pause the recording for just a second to close the blinds and get some lights on in here, so we can carry on in a normal fashion where I'm not in super slow-mo. Now, I am back, and I've got myself a chilled drink. Just for the purposes of continuing this. This is actually not too bad. I'm enjoying this well enough. I hope you are too. This is quite an easy thing to do. It's not easy. easy. But it's a change of pace at least to be. I don't have to be actively doing stuff. I just have to think, which is a little easier. I don't have to be entertaining and do something else. I just have to ramble uncontrollably for over an hour already. This may be a long video, but anyways, as I say, we should probably kick into maximum overdrive. So what did I give? I don't think I rated this. I think it's 7.5. It's not amazing. It didn't blow me away. I like a lot of it, but damn, that hat is weird. Okay, yeah, this is the thing I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to maybe touch on this. I think the bandana's cooler, but obviously don't want to see much of. Again, he's a ninja. I don't want to be seeing his face too much. Also, don't know what it is about the side boob, the side pec. With a lot of these designs, I don't like the side pec. This is shoulder pad different. It is slightly different. His shoulder pads are slightly different. I prefer these shoulder pads to these ones. Yeah, I prefer them. He's also got like a slightly different like front robe. It's like ever so slightly different. Weird. There's like really minor differences throughout this, but again, I think this one's an 8. Even though I wish he still had the mask, because the mask is obviously the cool part. But I like the headband a lot more than I like his little hat thing. I like his bandana a little bit more. It's a very it's kind of a purple color, which I don't love, but it's a lot better. I think I just wanted to kind of touch on this one. This one's an 8, I think, because it's got the elements which I want, but it's not as good. And again, I like that he doesn't have the white eyes. It looks a lot better. I think the white eyes look kind of lame. Okay, now alright. So before I gave the Shredder costume, the Shredder Sub-Zero, a 6.5. Mostly because I said it wasn't rendered amazingly well. This is rendered very well. I still wish they didn't have these goddamn like arm pieces. I hate them. I don't like them at all. I think they really detract from the overall design. But his mask looks really cool. His helmet is really cool. His robe is simple, but effective. Because it's got these like straps that come onto the fur on the back. Oh, this is an 8. It's an easy. No, it's a 9. No, that's no. It's an 8.5. It's an 8.5 for me. This is the best Sub-Zero. Yeah, I think I'm safe in saying it's the best Sub-Zero. So we do have Mortal Kombat 1. I kind of feel the same as I did about Scorpion. This feels like a step back. It's simple, and his mask has now got these silver inlays on it rather than it being blue. I would prefer if his mask was blue. His mask looks a lot more ornate now. It feels very, like I said, it's very ornate, which again, it doesn't feel like a humble ninja mask. It feels very ornate, very designed, very. It doesn't feel very realistic in a sense. I don't know how I'm supposed to be saying this really, because I mean he's a ninja that shoots ice. It's not realistic, but what I mean is that it feels like it doesn't make as much sense. Like it being this kind of clunky, big blue thing. It fits his color scheme, but it also looks kind of clunky, which I think works a little better. This being this kind of chunky, clunky thing that sits on his face. And again, these badges, I don't love the badges on the robes. I like the design of the robes. I think again, the texturing in this game is way better than Mortal Kombat 11, I think, because everything has a lot more softness to it. But I also think that a lot of the character models don't look as good. Something about their faces just isn't as high quality as Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11's faces look really good. But I don't think this game has good faces. Don't get me wrong, it still looks great. It's still a very, very good looking game, but I just don't think it's as good looking as Mortal Kombat 11. Again, I think they need something. Again, I think maybe could use a bandana, something to. Because I don't love just their hair being out all that much. I don't love it. There's a more egregious example of the hair being out, which we'll get to in a while. But yeah, and again, they're trying to do stuff here where it's like, oh, where Scorpion's kind of extra color became the red. Here, his extra color It is kind of the silver, but it's also kind of this darker blue, which is in the mask, which is in this under robe, which is in these little straps, which is in his shoulder pads. I like the shoulder pieces actually because they're pointy. It looks evil. It looks evil. Because again, this is more back to original Sub-Zero, who's kind of a bad guy. It's confusing. Oh, it's confusing. Timelines, damn it. But yeah, I think this is. I think it's a 7. Again, I think it's about the same as Scorpion's. It's about a 7. It's got a lot more unique elements. Again, Scorpion as well. They both have very unique elements. They're not quite like the palette. They're not just palette swap ninjas. But I don't like it very much. I don't like it very much. It's a 7. It's still good, but it's on the lower end of being good, I would say. Yeah, it's a 7. Okay, so now we're moving on to character number 3. Who I now have to change all this goddamn stuff for, so... let me grab a different one. There we go. Now we're on to Reptile. Reptile. So, this is Mortal Kombat 1. In Mortal Kombat 1, he's even got the same animation as Scorpion. It's still a 5. It's obviously still a 5. I like green more than I like yellow and blue, though. But he's still a 5. Still a 5. He even had Scorpion's moveset, if memory serves. He's just like a palette swap, literally a palette swap of Scorpion. He had the same moves and everything. He's a secret character in Mortal Kombat 1, but yeah. He looked exactly. Yeah, he was mostly the same. He didn't have his own moves. He didn't have anything unique. But when we get to Mortal Kombat 2, he's got his own pose. I don't know why this is so fast, but he's doing like he's mixing it up. He's a DJ. He's mixing. That's what he's doing. You can see his hands and he's going wiki wiki like that. Again, I think the green actually looks. I think this green is better. The really like kind of like overblown green didn't work for me as well last time, but this green is a lot better. He had his own moveset this time. He was a little bit more unique. But yeah, the kind of patterning, the kind of padded stuff from Mortal Kombat 2, it's okay. It's a 6. It's a 6. It's a better version, but it's still baseline. It's still basic normal ninja. It's not crazy. It's nothing out of the ordinary. So now we got Mortal Kombat 3, which again, I would say this is still a 6. I don't remember if I gave these 5s or 6s anymore. The Mortal Kombat 3 ninjas. He's got creepy hands. Because generally speaking, they go for 2 hand positions. Because I mean, we're gonna see the DJ hand position again in a while, for a different character. But yeah, so with this, I think I gave him 5s. Again, it's just the same thing, but green. There's 2 hand positions. There's the kind of the fist forward like that, and then there's the spooky hands. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't love it. It's whatever I gave the normal ones. Oh god. It's whatever I gave the other ones before. So this is where, with Reptile, we get into some strange stuff of where they're like, oh, it's called Reptile, and he's supposed to be from a race of lizard men. So why don't we just make him a lizard man? And there is a lot of questions that I have about this. I have a second picture of this design, which is maybe better. So, I hate this. Everything that's going on here, I hate this. I don't mind the purple. I don't mind the purple as an accent, but what the problem is that it doesn't feel quite as much that his ninja color is green anymore. He's still got some ninja elements. He's still got a ninja mask, kind of. But it doesn't feel like his ninja color is green anymore. It feels like his ninja color is purple now because he's got the purple trousers. Even like his silver has like a purpley color to it. I don't really like it all that much. I don't like his face. It looks weird to me. I don't like the mask really at all. I don't like that he's got this hole in it. It looks like a weird gimp mask or something. I don't know. I don't like this. I know some people like this. I know some people do like Mortal Kombat 4 Reptile. I do not. His nose looks weird. His mouth looks weird. I don't like the kind of pale color that his mouth and his like chest is. A lot of it just looks weird to me. I don't really like it. I think I'm going to give it a 4. It's not terrible, but I don't really like it all that much at all. Well, I suppose in terms of the lizard man look, this is probably, well, I wouldn't say this is one of the better lizard men. I actually don't mind the costume, it's just I don't like that he's a lizard man. That's mostly what's bringing it up. He's got these weird techno boots that I don't like. There's a lot of weird like techie stuff. His weird like chastity belt here that he's got going on, like the medieval chastity belt that he's got going on. I don't like that very much. Yeah, it's a 4. Okay, so this is where we get to Deadly Alliance. This is only the first one. They've at least tried to keep the green ninja stuff going on, but that's about as positive as I can be with this, because again, the primary position that the green is coming from is from his body. At his head, he looks like a crocodile, but he's got this weird, like, messed up head shape. He's got this weird, like big scale on the back of his neck. Is it a scale or is it a spike? What the hell is that? No, it's spikes, because he's got a tail in this design as well. Oh. It's a 4. It's a 4. They really got too attached to this lizard man thing, I think. I think even they realize that this is too much, because after, I mean, we've got a second design here. That's also a 4. It sucks. It sucks. Actually, no, this is a 3. This is even worse. He's got this weird deer skull on his chest, which is like strapped in. What the hell? What the hell is this? These spikes? Oh, this is bad. Oh no, this is bad. This is really bad. This is a 3. This is a 3. Yeah, it's a 3. It's a 3. Okay, and then Reptile didn't show up in Deception, and he was in Armageddon, obviously, but it was just the Deadly Alliance costumes. So let me ponder this for a moment. Oh, that's cold. Oh. I don't hate it, but I don't like his weird, like, corset that he's got here. Again, they put more green in his actual design, but he's got this weird, like, kind of, his head shape is weird. His head's, like, kind of, like, bulging out. It's very bulgy. Let me zoom in a little bit for this. He's got this weird kind of bulging head. He's got this kind of, the mask makes it look kind of bird-like. I'm probably not saying anything new when I say that, but he's got this kind of, like, bird-like quality to it. It comes out like a beak. Because, again, they're trying to get the elements of the lizard head, the long lizard head, but it comes out weird. It looks like a beak. The scales look kind of weird, like even on his back. The scales look very weird. There's too many straps. Again, the straps that are like holding up his front piece. It feels like he'd have to like pull up his front piece constantly. And his single shoulder pad, I don't like his weird feet. Oh, I'm willing to give this one a 5. It's not awful, it's fine. 5 is average, bear in mind. 5 is not bad. 5 is average. I think this is average. I don't think it's bad. I really don't hate it. Ooh. This is like a scorpion design from the time, because look at all these weird lizard heads. Look at this like belt buckle, which is a little lizard face going like, like that. And then these snakes on his shoulders. Yeah, this is like a scorpion design. Why does he have this weird mask? Again, he's got like a weird gimp mask going on. Oh no, this one's much worse. This one's like a 3. Yeah, this one's a 3. I really hate this. Because it's like this one. It's the same thing pretty much. It's like pretty much, oh wait. Yeah, it's like pretty much the same thing. Except it's got this like, yeah, this one didn't have that. This one's got like these like sewn up bits, like he's got like the Frankenstein patterning going on here. Oh, it's bad. Yeah, it's a 3. It's worse than the Crocodile Man look. I think that one is actually worse than the Crocodile Man. Right. So now we got Mortal Kombat X. I think that this is the best that the Lizard Man look got. I think this is the best that the just adhering to the Lizard Man got. I think that His mask is cool, even though it's got this kind of beaky quality to it again, which I still don't really like. I don't think it should have that kind of beakiness to it. But whenever, again, there's a logic to the way it looks, which again I like whenever they do it a little, they try and do a little bit to make it feel a little bit more practical with the fact that whenever he talks it moves. I don't mind that, I like it well enough. The bones, though, I don't like much. I don't care much for the bones. Again, they keep slapping stuff on their shoulders. I don't like it very much. Again, he's got like no green in his design outside of his skin tone, and because of the way that Mortal Kombat X works, it's all very muted. It's a 6, maybe. No, it's a 6.5. It's a 6.5. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I don't like the bones. I don't like the bones. I don't like how muted it is. I don't like that there's no actual green in his design. And he's got the same kind of weird, like Mortal Kombat 4, like weird, like flat, fat back of his head thing going on with his ninja mask. Again, I like that he has a ninja mask. Yeah, with the cowl piece at the back, there's a lot of like brown and stuff like that in there. Okay, so this is his other one, his tournament, I think is what they call it. I don't think Reptile got many costumes, but yeah. So he's got green in his design. That's a plus. Dear God, is it muted? He's got a weird gimp mask thing going on, and his mask like separates at the chin. Like like if he was speaking, it should be flapping out like that, which I don't like. It looks like he's got this weird kind of like mustache. It's what the top of it looks like. It looks like a big green mustache. And there's so many belts. So many belts. I can't see anything below the waist. You would not believe how hard it was to find decent pictures of this that were in like a halfway decent resolution. But I don't like it. I don't like it very much. I don't like it very much. I like parts of it. I think it's a 6. It's not bad, but it's not great. And it's not as good as the other one. It's not as good as his default. So now, we get into actually the best Reptile design. I think this is actually like an 8.5. I think this is Reptile's best design easily. I don't know why he's got so many keys. There's probably an explanation in there somewhere. He's got green in his design. He's not a lizard man anymore. I think the tattoos actually look cool on him. I think they work. I think they work as part of the design. Again, like I mentioned earlier on, this has a lot of elements of Scorpion's Mortal Kombat X design, but I think it actually works better here with Reptile. Because I think the hood and everything and the mask, it all works well enough for him. And even a lot of his like darker greys, you can see on like the trousers, they're like a really dark green. So there's more green in the design. There's like the green little wrap that comes down and around. I really like how that looks. I like the kind of scaliness here because it pays a little bit of lip service to the lizard man stuff. I mean, he is a shapeshifter, he turns into a lizard man. I think the lizard man version is also better than the other lizard man designs. I think even if we were to just, I don't have a picture of the lizard man look here, but I'd say the lizard man look is probably about a 7, maybe the lizard man. Yeah, I think this one's really cool. I think this is an 8.5. I think this is really good. This is a good design. Yeah, it's an 8.5. I really like it. Again, this is the thing. I think a lot of the ninjas that aren't the Lin Kuei ninjas in Mortal Kombat 1 look really good. But I think a lot of the other ones don't look as good. I think a lot of the Lin Kuei ninjas don't look great in Mortal Kombat 1 because they're very uniform. And yeah, I don't like the hair sticking out too much. But yeah, now we're done with that. We've got to move on to the next batch of these. Let me prepare this. So we're moving on to Kitana. Is our next one. Yeah, we're moving on to Kitana next. So, what I have done here is I have got a Yeah, I've got it's the same thing I did with Scorpion. It's just the kind of the more basic one. So this is again, I'm rating this slightly differently than the default male ninjas, because it is a different design. I think it's probably about a 6. The same with the male ninjas from Mortal Kombat 2. You know what? Might actually not be. I think it's a 5.5. I think for the female ninjas. I like the headband. I like the mask. I like the gloves. I like the boots. But unfortunately, it's just a bit plain. Something about it which is just a little plain. It's not got any like patterning or anything to it. It feels very Mortal Kombat 1. In that it's all quite flat. Again, where in Mortal Kombat 1 I think that would favour it well, I don't think it stacks up quite as well against the male ninja designs of Mortal Kombat 2. I don't think it's quite as good. I think it's 5. 5.5, I mean. I like the boots, I like the gloves and boots that they have the little black trim. I like the black belts. I like a lot of that stuff. Yeah, it's about a 5.5. Even the hair, I think the hair looks alright with just the loose hair. Not very practical, mind you, but it works well enough. So I got Mortal Kombat 3. The mask is very low on the face. I think this one's a 5. I don't actually love the Mortal Kombat 3 ninja design. It's the next one. No, it isn't. That's hold on. Yeah, I think this one's just a 5. I don't think this one's as good as Mortal Kombat 2. I like the kind of, again, some of the black accents. I don't like the central body piece. We'll get a better look at it with Mileena, but again, with Mileena, I'll be sticking with the same rating because it's the same design. Yeah. I think it is, yeah, I think it's a 5. Yeah, just a 5. I don't like it as much. I don't like the mask. The mask is very loose. It's got the kind of veil quality to it. Yeah, it's a 5. Yeah, we gotta pick up the pace a little bit. So now we've got Mortal Kombat 4. So Mortal Kombat 4 is kind of just the same thing as Mortal Kombat 3, but now it's in 3D, and it doesn't look as good because it's in primitive 3D. I will give them credit that the boots are not... Oh no, they weren't even actually here either. The boots aren't actually like heels or anything. They're normal boots, but they do look kind of more like socks in the same sense. I like the black on the side of them. I think the fans in this look pretty cool, but it's realistically a near identical body piece, and there's no mask now, so it's like, where's the mask? Come on, there's supposed to be a mask. There should be a mask. There should always be a mask, especially in Mortal Kombat 4. Especially in back in the days whenever no one knew how to model female characters. Yeah, this. Oh, yeah, yeah. This is a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. Appropriate for Mortal Kombat 4. It's a 4. It's significantly weaker than Mortal Kombat 3, even though it is basically the same. I think just the fact of it being translated into 3D really didn't help it. Right. So now we've got Deadly Alliance. I think. Yeah, it's Deadly Alliance. Well, they brought back the mask, but I don't like her body piece anymore. I don't like her body piece. The blue is very muted. She's got these really bulky earrings. She's got like some Street Fighter-y kind of hair going on with the big thick hair that's sticking out. She's got that little like chunky thing on the front there. I don't know what that is on her belt. It's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. It's pretty bland. Yeah, it's bland. It's not interesting. Yeah. No, yeah, it's a 4. It's really boring looking. I think this one's better. But god damn it, they need to give her a mask. And why is she purple now? Why has she got Mileena's color now? I think it's 4.5. I think it's better than Mortal Kombat 4's design and the other Deadly Alliance one. I like it well enough, but unfortunately it's purple. I don't know why it's purple. And she's not got a mask, so you can see her weird face. because they didn't know how to model faces yet. Whenever I was looking for this image, I did find a few better renders, which were obviously fan-made. So they managed to, you know, get a halfway decent face, but that's not accurate to what we're ranking this off of. So yeah, it's a 4.5. I think that's what I said. Yeah, 4.5. I think that's what I said. Whatever the first thing I said was, that's what we're going for. 4.5, I think. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, now we got Mortal Kombat versus DC. I don't hate this. I don't hate this. Blue is very pale, though. The blue is very pale, very washed out. It could stand to be a little better. I think it's a 6. I think it's a 6. I like the color balance for the most part. I like that it's mostly blue, even though I don't like the blue as much as some of the other ones. Again, the trend of you have to tie up the hair, because dear God, we don't know how to model it, or we don't know how to animate it. We're gonna get some clipping if that stuff ain't tied up. But yeah, it's all right. It's an all right design. It's 6. It's a little better than some of the other ones. It's all right. Now, Mortal Kombat 9. So this is where the irony is, I think some of the Mortal Kombat 9 designs are hornier than half of the PS2 era designs. We're obviously not going to be going into all of them, because we're only going into the ninjas, and there's only a handful of ninjas, female ninjas, in Mortal Kombat 9. I think this is good art. I think this is good art of the character. I think this is an official render, from what I was saying, an official piece of art, anyways. I think her hair looks good. I think I like the tiara. I think that looks good. I think her fan looks cool. I think the boots look cool, even though they're heels, which, again, combat heels. The combat heels, again, this is why I say it's getting hornier. I like some of the design that's on the boots, actually. I kind of wish that design was a little more spread out. There's some of it on the arms, but dear God, she's still got like the cross stitch thing on her. They're kind of like the top that she's got from Mortal Kombat 3. It seems like they really got married to that idea with Kitana, the cross hatch or the cross stitch thing. They got really married to that idea, but they got rid of it eventually. I think it's a 6.5. I think it's okay. I just feel like she could stand to be wearing a bit more clothing. I don't know. Again, it's horny. It's very horny. Actually, I didn't think about these. God, they really love their armlets, don't they? They give them to everybody. They give everybody their armlets. Jesus. All right. Well. Ugh. Again, this is bad. This one's real bad. I think this is as bad as any of the PS2 ones. I think this is a 4. They've kept the tiara. They've given her the same hair as some of the PS2 ones. This, like, top piece is bad. It looks really weird. It's got, like, the fan design in it. Okay, yeah, it's got the fan design in it. That's what it's like. Piece from the neck comes down into a fan piece, and then it comes into the cup. I'd loosely call it a cup, but yeah. This is a design thing they do a lot with some of these female characters. I just hate it. The sleeves, just the random sleeves, like these big poofy sleeves. They look terrible. It doesn't have. There's a little bit of clipping going on with that left sleeve there. The boots look really bad. She's just got underwear on, but it's got that weird like little cape to it. Oh, this is a 4. Why is her belly button so big? She's got a huge belly button. Again, this is the big problem of some of these. Again, another one were not the best at doing faces, especially not female faces, and hell, they were not good at doing female proportions at the time either. They got better, but this is not good. Oh, this is not good. This is a 4. Okay. So, now we've got MKX, the default costume for Kitana. I don't like this very much. There is a lot going on. I don't mind the hair. This this hair clip at the front I don't like. I like the pins. The pins look cool. The mask is okay, but it's kind of the way that it moves down into the neck piece and then it kind of comes into like this weird flat collar thing. I don't like. I don't like the armoring along the arms. I don't really like that at all. I don't like so much of the strapping and the laciness around like the breast. The boots are alright. There's a lot going on with the boots, with the stitching and the hemming and everything. There's God almighty, there's a lot of that. The gloves look okay, but again, I don't like how they tie it to the armor. It's 5. It's a 5. I think Kitana, for God's sakes, they just couldn't get it right. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all, really. It's a 5. Yeah. I like this a little more. I do like this a little more. Again, they just kept doing these like weird, like super tight masks. Like this one, again, you can see the shape of her nose in it. I like the tiara again. This thing that works, I think, for a design. I like the arm piece here. I like the kind of the glove. I like that. This is the tournament design. So this is in canon. This is supposed to be a redesign of the Mortal Kombat 9 one, sort of. I think. The jewelry, the necklace, I don't like very much. It's quite bulky. Top again is very. I think it's 5.5. I think it's better than the. No, it's a 6. It's a 6. It's better than the other one. It's better than the other one. It's not as good as the Mortal Kombat 9 one. It's well modeled, I think. Yeah. Again, they were very into the veil, the crotch veil. I don't know why they do that. I don't love it all that much, especially whenever there's nothing being worn on the legs, because then it's like I don't know. So the Revenant design for Kitana, I don't like this at all, really. Again, I think Kitana has some really bad designs in Mortal Kombat X. The skull on the hair is kind of funny. I like the weird the fluttering collar. But it seems like with Mortal Kombat X and Kitana, they were really grappling with this idea of they were like, well, we want to design Kitana to look cooler, but how do we design Kitana in a way that isn't really horny? That's kind of the central struggle they're having here, because she's got these like really intricately designed gauntlets that go into the shoulder pads and all this, which have like these kind of like straps that go into the neck piece, and then she's just got her tummy out and her armpits. And again, they've still got the cross stitch. Again, they got really married to that idea. They can't fully see everything, but there's like a sort of like some fabric floating around the waist. I think I can't give this anything high. I think this is a 4. I don't think it's as good as even. I think this is worse than the default. I don't like this very much. It's just kind of weird. It highlights a lot of the problems. I like this more. I like this more. I think this one's a 5. It's weird. She's got She's got an actual proper mask this time. I mean, did she have a mask before? Yeah, this is a mask. I didn't think much of it, but yeah, she got a proper mask. The blue is very muted. Again, it's Mortal Kombat X. It's all very muted. She's got the chest cut, the boob window. Is it a boob window? I think it is. Yeah, I can see the skin there. That's boob window. No gloves though. And again, they were grappling. They were like, we want this to look cool, but we're also super horny. So what do? Well, we throw in a boob window and call it a day, and we give her this like weird jagged crown. It's a 5. That's a 5. Yeah, it's not great. I think there's better designs of this type of thing than what this one is. So now we're gonna go into Mortal Kombat 11. I actually like this design. I like this design a lot. I think this is probably one of her better ones, but not her best. I'm willing to give this a 7.5. I think it's pretty good. I like the blue. There's maybe a few too many shades of blue going on. I like the weapon combo with the fan and the knife. I think it's more interesting. Let me take a drink and ponder. I like the silver. The silver's a nice touch. It's kind of a bluey silver, so it still meshes. Headband. I like the headband. The pins. Again, they kept the pins. An element of the design that I actually liked from Mortal Kombat X. Kept the pins. The mask. Again, they finally got over the weird like clinging thing of where it's like a sock clinging to your face thing that goes down to your neck. They finally got over that, and now it's just an actual little mask that ties around the back of the neck. Yeah, it's 7.5. It's pretty good. Even like the part again. This is whenever I think Mortal Kombat 11 was whenever they were like, maybe we'll just try. Maybe we'll just. Mortal Kombat 11 obviously had some controversy when it came to its designs because they're really removing the horniness from the designs, and arguably the horniness was there from the start. However, I would argue this. I don't think I don't think this design is horny. Again, it's very zoomed out now. I don't think this design is horny. This is where it began, and it only got worse from here, and then into this, then into this. Oh, this one's not that horny. It kind of is, actually. This one's not that horny. This one's very horny. And then this one, yeah, and then this one. And then this, oh, this one's not too bad. And then this one. This one's not too bad, but there's a boob window there for no reason. And then this one. It's got a boob window, but it feels a little bit more tasteful, because it's small. It's small. And, again, it's like, it fits with the patterning of the design. And there's a little buckle there as well, and there's like the little shoulder pieces. I don't necessarily like these bits. Like the collarbone showing. I think in terms of the color balance, it's actually kind of necessary. I can see why they did it, but I don't love it. And she's still showing the armpits. Armpits and a little bit of the shoulder. But yeah, it's a 7.5. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I think it's a good one. They did a good job on this one. I like this one a lot more though. I think the Mortal Kombat 1 Kitana is probably one of the better ones. Again, I'm kind of thinking to myself, oh, is it an 8? Is it a 7.5 as well? Is it tied with Mortal Kombat 11? I'm like, I'm debating it. Let me think about it. Let me discuss. So again, there's a couple of different shades of blue going on because you can see with her like shirt, there's the kind of bits that come around the shoulder and then into the middle of the chest, and then it's even that same kind of little lighter blue. There's little bits of that on the arms as well. I like the hair. I like the hair more, I think. I got a little bit of a hiccup there. I like the hair more in this design, I think. There's still these kind of little shoulder pads, but they're very close in now. She's got these little caps on her fingers, which I didn't notice until just now. She's got these two little caps on her index and middle finger. Maybe it's only on the fan hand, because again, they've stuck with now the fan plus knife combo, which I like. I like that well enough. I think it makes a little bit more sense. Because I can't imagine that the fan is the most. I can't imagine the fan is the most practical weapon in the world. Well, I mean, it's technically two fans, but yeah, the second one is usable as a knife. Anyways. Would it be hasty to say this is better than Mortal Kombat 11 one? Hell, I'm gonna give it an 8. I like it a little bit more. I like it a little bit more. I mean, yeah, again, the last one was 7.5, so yeah, I like it a little bit more. It's a little over-designed in places. Again, there's a lot of straps and belts and stuff. Especially around, like, yeah, like you can see on the leg there that there's a bit of a, yeah, there's like all these straps and buckles there. And the straps tying the shoulder pad down around the armpit and all this stuff. But hey, a lot of the design doesn't feel too crazy. You can get a lot of you can kind of infer some of the story stuff from her design. You can get the kind of like, oh, she's more of a handmaiden now. And it's like, oh, I can kind of get that from the design, from the kind of even the mask and the kind of a lot of the inlays. And that kind of, the fan makes a little bit more sense there with that. And yeah, no, I do like this actually more. I do like it more. It's simple, but effective. Simple but effective. I think it works. Again, this is one of the ones where I think the simplicity actually lends to it, because I think maybe Mortal Kombat 11, the Kitana design, it's a little over-designed in places. And it's like some of the Mortal Kombat X ones are very over-designed. Like this one in particular is incredibly over-designed. But yeah, I like it more. I like it well enough. It's an 8. It's an 8. It's not amazing, but it's an 8. Right. Now we're on to our 4th character. An hour and 40 minutes in. I might cut this one down. Now we are on to Mileena. So, allow me to zoom in. I mean, this, I don't need to go into much detail. It's the same. It's a 5, I think was what I said. 5.5, I think, for this. The hand position, I don't know what this is about. The evil hand, the claw. I suppose, yeah, this is the kind of the spooky hands equivalent of where she's got the kind of more scorpion pose. Yeah, I'd say yeah, 5. It's just, I mean, it's the same as the rating I gave the other one. Same thing here. It's fine. It's, again, she's got more of the aggressive hands, so yeah. I don't love it. I don't love it. This one I like even less. They've now given her evil eyes. They've given her glowing eyes. Well, they're not glowing eyes, but they're just colored eyes. Anyways, give me a second. I have to drink that off camera now because it's so drippy. The glass is so wet from how the ice is melted. But yeah. Oh god, the boots. Oh, I hate those boots actually. Yeah, the boots are bad. Hair's fine. I don't know what it is about this widow's peak that doesn't quite sit right with me. Go. This is 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't like it. It's too horny. Yeah, I mean, she's even more naked than the Mortal Kombat 3. In the Mortal Kombat 3, she's actually technically wearing more. God. Right. Deception design, because she's not in Deadly Alliance, apparently. I checked them all. I hate this. I mentioned it whenever I was talking about Kitana with that Mortal Kombat 9 design with the big poofy sleeves. I hate the sleeves. And I feel like how much she's wearing on top, especially it's literally on top, only highlights how naked she is on the bottom. She's just not wearing trousers. She's just wearing this belt, but then you can see her underwear. It sucks. And the veil, I hate the veil. I don't like the veil at all. In terms of these designs, I don't like the veil at all. I think the boots are alright, actually. The boots are alright. I don't like the sleeves. Like, again, I don't know what this weird belt around the middle is. She's got 2 belts on. She's got a fabric belt and then the little buckle in the middle. Or abdomen? I don't... Why is that there? I don't know. This sucks. This is a 3. This sucks. It's a 3. I hate it. I don't even know if I can show this. This is like barely clothing in places. That's a 3 as well. Screw it. This is too horny. The hair's better, but it's too horny. Alright. That's funny. Let me mention something. This is important to note, I think, that whenever I was searching up these designs, Google put Safe Search on. It notified me to say that Safe Search was on, because these are so naked. And it had blurred out some of these images, so I had to click into them first, and I wasn't sure that I was clicking on some weird lewd fan art. But, yeah, anyways, I actually think this is a lot better. So, I wanted to elaborate here, because I mentioned before that I didn't like the other ones were too horny. Now, this one is very horny. It's a Mileena design, it's never not going to be. But, I think it makes more sense than Kitana's one. I don't think Kitana's one should be super horny. This one makes a degree of sense, because again, it's supposed to be the kind of like, the luring you in kind of thing, and I'm like, okay, I also never like the teeth. The teeth look stupid. I don't like the teeth. There's only one game which I can think of where the teeth don't look stupid, and I'll get to that in a little while. I like the hair. I like the hair. I kind of even preferred the alternate costume hair from Deception, that it kind of like fell in front of the face a little bit. I kind of preferred that a little bit more even. I can't in good conscience give this too high a rating. They kept some of the cross-stitching stuff from Mortal Kombat 3 in there. I'm afraid to leave this on screen for too long, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to give this a 6. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, it's a very, very kind of, they're very direct with this design. This design sucks. I don't like this at all. It's very similar to the Kitana design. Even, I mean, I can understand what they're going for within a degree with the Mileena designs. They're kind of weird, like parodies of the Kitana designs. But this one's not good. The Kitana one wasn't good either. It's a 4. They're both 4s. Yeah, they're both 4s. I don't like the veil. I really don't like the veil at all. I don't like the ass veil. I don't know why that's there. The boots are alright. That's a consistent day which I'm having here. So, the boots are alright. Even though the rest of it sucks, I hate these sleeves. I hate these sleeves. Ugh. It reminds me too much of that first Deception costume. Oh, we're zoomed in here. Okay. So, here is my opinion on Mortal Kombat X's Mileena design. It's the best Mileena design. Easily. I think it's easily the best Mileena design. And the big reason is they had a little bit of restraint. God, she's actually really skinny. I didn't realize that. Her arms are like twigs. Makes her head kind of look big. Again, Mortal Kombat X is not the greatest looking game in the world to me. Don't know what it is about this little buckle on around her neck. I think if I pick this apart for long enough, I'm gonna hate it. But yeah, I like the trousers. Trousers are a nice touch. Again, thank God they're finally giving her some clothing. I even like the top piece a little bit more. It works. It works for the design. Again, her pinky purple is well dispersed. Skull on the belt, maybe not necessary. They could have maybe thought of a different inlay, I think, for that maybe came up a little bit more. I feel like it's still too deep. Still a little too deep, still a little too low. And what is it with these little pads that they keep putting on their arms? Anyways. I like the mask, like the hair a lot. I think I have another version of this as well. Yeah, I have a more zoomed in one. Yeah, I like the boots. I like a lot of this. Yeah, this is 8.5. 8.5. I don't think I've given any super high scores. This is an 8.5. This one's good. This one's good as well. This one's good as well. I don't know if this is her tournament one, or I don't know which design this is. This one's pretty good. I like the hair falling in front of the face. Again, I mentioned that before. I think it works well. Because again, it works better for me than the veil. I think the veil doesn't work very well for me. I think I like the hair falling in front of the face more, whenever you can see just the one glowy eye. I like that a little bit more. I think it works better. I don't think it's as good as the other one. I think the other one has some better design on it. This one's a little over-designed in places. It's pretty cool, but I'd say it is a 7.5. 7.5, I think. 7.5. Feels alright. Yeah. Pink is a little lighter. I would prefer if the pink was a little darker, a little deeper, maybe. It's a very pale color. Yeah, I'm willing to happily sit at a 7.5 on this one. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It just clips out of being one of the kind of the 7s. I think it's pretty good. Again, a lot of this gold works alright. Maybe it doesn't mesh with the pink quite as well. Again, the very dull colors of Mortal Kombat X never sit well with me. But again, I got a lot more designs to get through here in a very short period of time. So yeah, it's all right, pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna sit at a 7.5. Hell, maybe an 8. The last one was an 8.5. This one, yeah, you know what? I'll bump it up to an 8. This one's a 7.5. It's even quite similar in elements. They come back to that veil. I don't like that veil. I don't like this hairpiece either. The crown is alright, but I just kind of don't like this crown piece all that much. Very little pink. It feels like a movie design where there's so much black in it. You know what I mean? That is, they've kind of like taken the primary color and made it an accent to black. Because in any movie design, that's basically the name of the game. How do you realisticify any design? Make it primarily black, and then the normal primary color is now an accent color. But yeah, the kind of like weird netting of the pink on the arms, I don't love that. I like the pattern on the little robe piece, but it's very similar to the prior one, and I think the prior one's better. This one's a 7, I think. I don't like the veil. I like the headpiece a lot more than this one, actually. Even though I don't love it, I like the idea of it, the kind of like spidery thing, but she's a vampire. She's supposed to be a vampire. I do like the idea of it. I like the idea of it. I think maybe she could stand to have a little bit of drapery going on the rest of her design. Maybe that would make the veil work a little better for me if she had like a little bit of drapery coming over her shoulders or something. Something which had a little bit more red in it, because dear God, this red is dull as hell. It's all right. It's a 7. I think it's a 7. Again, Mileena has some pretty good designs in Mortal Kombat X, even though the game doesn't look the best. Now, Mortal Kombat 11, Mileena. I appreciate that they gave her the same face as Kitana. Oh, I forgot to mention that Mortal Kombat X has the one mouth design that I actually like, where it's the kind of like it kind of like gets more Baraka-y as it goes along the lips in the front. It makes a little bit more sense as well. Again, I'm not saying anything new here, but it doesn't. I don't understand how they actually speak with the big teeth. It always looks kind of dumb with the way they do it. And this game went back to the teeth. I don't like it. I don't like it very much. The color looks really good though. I really like the purpley pink. I think the colors here look really good. I think some of the silvery bits look alright. I think the shoulder wrap, this kind of like roby bit that goes across the top of the robe, I don't actually like that. I think it would look a little better if it was just that wasn't there at all. That like little neck piece that comes down across into like this little, like little drape across the chest. I think it would actually look better if it was just the two robe pieces that came up over the shoulders. I think that would look a lot better. Mask is basic. I think it's a 6.5. I think it's not bad. I think, again, don't get me wrong here. It's not bad. It's not average. It's a little bit better than that. But it's not a 7. It's not as good as any of the Mortal Kombat X ones, I think. I think any of the Mortal Kombat X ones are better than this. Yeah, I don't like this one very much. It seems it's very basic. It feels like it's gone back a little too far in some elements. Now, Mortal Kombat 1. I like this design well enough, actually. There's some elements of this which I'm not super keen on. I think the pink, the purpley pink, is a little washed out. Yeah, I think her primary color is a little washed out. I do appreciate though that the blacks are a darker version of the pinky color. They're not pure black. I prefer that. I think the kind of rosy gold that she has on the mask looks pretty good. I think the mask looks pretty good. Again, I think some of the straps and stuff like that, they look alright. I think I'd be willing to give it an 8. I think I'd be willing to give it an 8. Because it still looks pretty good. It's got a lot of elements that I do like. Again, you can still see it's got that little cross stitching around the kind of center area underneath the chest. Like, dear God, they really, really got into that cross-stitching thing. They got really married to that concept. Keep like twitching my arm here. But yeah, I think some of the, like, even like you can see there at the bottom of the frame, you can see like little bits of the boots coming up with the kind of like pointy bits coming out. I don't mind it. It's alright. It's pretty good overall. We still got more characters to get through though. That's an 8. That's an 8, that one. I'm willing to give that one an 8. Right. So, now, we're on to our next character. I gotta try and speed round some of these next ones, I think. Alright. We're back. And we're going up against Smoke. Smoke, for now. So, we've got Smoke. We've got Mortal Kombat 2 Smoke. Human Smoke. He's got the reptile hands. He's got his groove. He's hitting the groove. He's giving us the DJ track. He's a 6. It's the same as all the normal human ninjas. He's a 6. We got Noob Saibot. He's just a silhouette. He's just a silhouette as a signal of things to come. He's got the slow jam Sub-Zero animation. He's a 4. He's just a silhouette. He looks cool though, but he's a silhouette. Human Smoke, Mortal Kombat 3. He is a 5. It's the same as all the other ones. 5 or 6, I don't remember. Noob Smoke. This is where things get confusing. So this version of Noob, I think this is... I don't know if this is the default or if this is an alternate. I think this is Deadly Alliance, I think, for Noob Smoke. I don't remember. Might be Deception. But yeah, I do remember though that in Armageddon they're separate. They're not one character anymore. But yeah, I think Noob here looks pretty cool. There's a version of this in later games which look way better. This is probably 6 or 7 for Noob. And then I think Smoke here looks terrible. I think largely Cyber Smoke looks lame as hell. I think that Smoke design is a 4. I think he looks weird. You can see the big shoulder pieces are just like floating off of him. He's got his big bulky gloves that don't fit him very well. I think it sucks. I should probably just say what I give the Cyber Ninjas. I think the Cyber Ninjas are a 4 for the most part. I think they're not great looking. Because I think in later games they look pretty alright. I think in Mortal Kombat 11, like Sector and Cyrax look pretty cool in that. I'd maybe be like an 8. Just to give you a quick rundown, I'm not going through them in images, but I think they're like, yeah, like an 8 in that. In Mortal Kombat X, I think Triborg is an 8. Pretty cool looking. But yeah. So we've got Human Noob? Question mark? Is that still Noob? I don't know if that... Is that supposed to be Human Smoke? I don't know. I think that's pretty alright. I think it's, again, the Noob design here is, again, if that is Noob, I think it's supposed to be Human Noob. I think. But he also kind of looks like Smoke. Looks like Human Smoke from later designs. Whoever that's supposed to be, he's an 8. Pretty cool design. Very reserved for one of these games. Actually, no, I'm being too generous. I think that's a 7. 7.5 maybe. That's pretty decent. Robot, he's a 6. Averages out maybe 6.5, I think. No, it averages out at 7, I think. Okay, we've got the two beasts of Mortal Kombat 9 Smoke. Oh. The one on the right is way cooler. I think maybe his shoulders have a little too much going on. I'm not going to talk about him in Mortal Kombat X because he's just got the same design as the right Smoke. I think, yeah, Ninja Smoke looks really cool. I think that's like that's like an 8.5 out of 10, 8.5. I don't think I've given him any 9s. I think he's a 9. He's a really good design. This is one of the better Mortal Kombat designs. I think it's a 9. I really like that one. I think if you were to cover his luscious locks on the left, he'd be pretty good too. Maybe an 8, maybe a 7. I think with the hair out, he is a 6. The hair really drags it all down, and I also think, again, they love that padding. You can see the cross-hatching padding on his little cloth, his little loincloth. I think pretty much all the rest of the design is cool. Not quite as cool as the other Smoke, as his alternate design. I think the mask looks way cooler in the alternate design. He's got like weird scorpion elements on his left design. Again, he's got these weird like Mortal Kombat 3 bits on him as well. He's a little confused looking, because it feels like they decided, oh, we want elements from Mortal Kombat 2. We'll put in the crosshatch like flap on the front. We want Mortal Kombat 3 elements. We'll put in all the padding and all the separation on the collar, and it's like, it's not great. It's not great. This one's a 6, that one's an 8. Or no, it's a 9. It's a 9, yeah, it's a 9. Okay, we're getting into some good stuff here. This Noob design is a 9 out of 10. This is a damn good design. This is the best Noob Saibot has looked. This is a 9 out of 10. I think this core piece, the main body piece, really cool. Shoulder pads, really cool. The hood, really cool. The mask, really cool. Even the boots are pretty cool. He's still got the ninja toe. It's signaling to you he's still a ninja. The mask is really cool. He's got the kind of like he looks like the Grim Reaper kind of thing going on, sort of. I like that he looks, I suppose, more like the Phantasm from Mask of the Phantasm. I like the kind of the fact that the hood kind of falls around his neck. It kind of like bunches up a little bit. It makes him look more ethereal. It makes him look more robed. I can't tell if his arms have a robe on them or if that's just his bare arms. No, I think that's a robe. But yeah, that's a 9 out of 10. That's a damn good design. This is the other Noob design. There was a similar piece of art of the similar Smoke design. I think this is also really good, but it's not amazing. I think it is 7.5. I think it's pretty good. It's nowhere near as good as the core Noob design. I think this one's pretty good. Again, like I say, it's pretty good. But again, it's just the Sub-Zero design, but dark, but black. That's it. It's just the Sub-Zero design, but he's got black instead of blue. And you know, I appreciate it that where there would be blue on his design, it is ever so slightly blue. Like you can see, if you were to color pick that core black, it would be slightly purpley blue. So, and I appreciate that. It's a 7. It's a 7.5. It's 7.5. Alright. Now, we got Noob Saibot from Mortal Kombat 11. I think Noob here is a little overdesigned. He also sounds like Dr. Claw. Everyone's made that joke already, but it's true. He sounds like Dr. Claw. It's a little silly. It's a little silly. I think it could be a little better. I think there's elements of this that I like. Again, I think the fact of how over-designed he is kind of fun in a sense. He's got all these like bits of like bones and stuff like this, and he's got these big spiky shoulder pads, and his mask is like a skeletal version of the Mortal Kombat 2 mask, if you remember correctly. I think I can even pull it up here. I think I'm on the same tab as, yeah, you can see it's like the same kind of design, but it's bones now. It's really cool. Yeah, it's like a really cool different thing. I think that's cool. That it's the Mortal Kombat 2 mask, but it's kind of it's kind of bony now. I think it's a cool idea. I think Saibot looks way cooler. That's my hot take here. I think Saibot looks way cooler. He's simpler. He's simpler. He looks more like a ninja. And he's got like, again, he's very sleek looking, whereas Noob is a little thrown together looking. I think Noob here is a 6.5, I would say. I don't think he's amazing. I think he's decent. But I think Saibot here is like an 8. So I think it averages around a 7. 7 I'm happy with that. I'm happy with a 7. I think there's cool elements to this, but I think Saibot looks way cooler than Noob here. And again, they give him this kind of like patterning on the top of his hood. It comes down to a point. Again, he's got the kind of Grim Reaper thing going on. Don't want to last too long on this. He's got a very funny voice. Now, Smoke. Smoke from Mortal Kombat 1. Because it's been a while since Smoke has shown up. Again, I mentioned already, I don't like the Lin Kuei robes in this game all that much. He's got very similar robes to Scorpion. Again, Smoke has always had similar gameplay qualities to Scorpion, which again, it's like, okay, yeah. I really wish that they had like an actual hooded part or a cowl or something to the ninja designs in Mortal Kombat 1, because I don't like their hair being out. I don't know if that's a hot take or something. I don't like their hair being out. I kind of don't like his mask. It's got this weird nose piece on it, the weird kind of bulky nose piece. I don't mind the idea of it being like an actual like gas mask. I think it's interesting design choice. I don't like his hair being out. The fact that it's the grey hair, I don't really like it all that much. Some of his greys are a little kind of like purpley, a little bluey in places. I think his knife looks cool. It's not his best design. It's a 7.5. It's good. It's good. It's a 7.5. I don't love it. I don't like a lot of the ninja designs in Mortal Kombat 1. They're a little too basic. And again, I appreciate the idea of they're trying to simplify it. They don't want to over-design the characters, but it's still just a little... It's missing something. It's missing something. It's a little too uniform now. It feels like they're going too far back. That it's all very uniform now. It's not very interesting. But yeah. Okay, next character. Next character, we got Jade. Got Jade from Mortal Kombat 2. She got the... Oh, I was got a little block there for a second. She's got the same design as all the female ninjas from Mortal Kombat 2. She's a secret character. They're like, oh, how do we make her stand out a little bit? She's got the same... is this the same position as Kitana? I don't know. I don't want to have to check now. It's a pain. It's a pain to check it. It is still a... whatever I gave the other female ninja costumes. Whether that was a 5 or a 6, I don't remember. It's the same here. Same thing here. It's the same design as the other ones. Not great. I don't love it. Right, now we've got... This is Deception. I don't hate this. To be honest, I don't hate this. Again, it's very horny, but I don't hate it. I don't mind her hair. Her hair's alright. The armlets here have a little bit of kind of something to them. They feel a little bit more interesting with the gemstones. Again, her color isn't just green now. It's got a more emeraldy kind of like, again, a jade green. So it fits her a little bit more. Even though I don't mind it, still a 6. Still a 6. Because it's missing some crucial things here. Mask. Missing a mask. I don't mind the headband, but it's missing a mask. She's a ninja. She's supposed to have a mask. Again, yeah. That's the kind of core thing. She's missing the mask. I wish that she had the mask. And I also do wish she, had trousers or something, because dear God. Very naked. Very naked designs. She's got this weird little buckle around the top of her top. Yeah, I think it's a 6. It's a 6. It's one of the better PS2 designs. This one, again, it's very similar to Mortal Kombat 3. It's got the mask. The hair, there's a lot going on with the hair, though. I don't really like the kind of like the buns, and then into braids, and then into big part. The hair there's way too much going on with the hair. The boot parts, there's a little too much going on. It's surprising that she's actually more clothed here than she was in the other design, even though this one's still very horny. The gloves kind of stand out because it's just glove. There's no actual goes into any wrap around the arm or anything. It doesn't like tie into anything. 5.5. It's a little worse than the other one. It's not amazing. I actually like this one even less. I don't like this design. I don't like this at all. It's remarkably similar to the other designs. Again, I think Jade also has in Armageddon. I think her designs are exactly the same. The chains, I don't like the chains. I think the hair's okay. The crosshatch again. They're the cross stitch. They're very married to that. Is that chains on that? No, it is, bro. She's got her arm bracer thing. I think it's a 6. I think it's a 6 as well. I think it's about... It's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. This one's terrible. This is a 4. This is awful. Again, they didn't know how to do faces at the time. They just couldn't do it. They just couldn't do faces. But for God's sakes, they kept trying to show them. Oh, this is a 4. I don't want to look at this. This is bad. This is bad. Boots are alright. Rest of it's terrible. Borderline naked. Yeah. Again, the chains. Again, they're going for a weird, like, Slave Leia thing here. No. Yeah, it's just Slave Leia. But worse. Yeah, it's 4. It's 4. Okay, we're going for default Revenant Jade from Mortal Kombat 11. There is a second Jade after this, actually, from Mortal Kombat 11. So Revenant Jade, I think, is a little over-designed. I think the greens and the hood are okay. I think it's a 7. Again, I think a lot of the later games ones are, it's very easy to give them higher ratings because they're so well modeled. And here, I like the mask a lot. I think it's better than any of the other masks she's had, and a lot of the time she hasn't had a mask. I really like the mask. I think most of her is over-designed. Yeah, I like the kind of core body piece, actually. You can see, like, underneath, it blends in a little bit with her kind of, like, grey skin tone, because she's a Revenant. But, like, the kind of, like, darker green that sits underneath the kind of core central body piece. I actually like that a lot. A lot of belts. I think it's a 7. I think it's a 7. The, like, nail pieces I don't like. I never liked that kind of design element. It's a little much. Yeah, it's a 7. 7. I like it. I think it's alright. I do like the story one a little bit more, even though it changes what her core color is. Her core color is purple here. It's the kind of winey purple. I like the green that she has more. I kind of wish that this was the green she had. I kind of wish she replaced the green and the purple. I might like that a little bit more, actually, if it was that way around. But, and again, I wish she had her mask on. But overall, I would say that this one's a 7.5. It's a little better. A little better than the other one. Yeah, it's a little better than the other one. Ermac. He's normal red ninja. He's got spooky hands, but he is the same as the other ones. So, yeah, we're sticking with that, I think. Sticking with whatever rating we had before. Deception, Ermac. I don't like this design. I don't like this at all. It's too baggy. Too baggy, too weird. This is... this is, like, pretty much immediately with Ermac after they did the early games, pretty much immediately afterwards they got to this weird mummy thing. Because, I mean, they decided, oh, he's a sorcerer ninja. So it's like, okay, this has some elements of that in there. There's some ninja stuff. But he's mostly sorcerer, not so much ninja. 5.5. He's not the worst. It's not the worst. There are worse Ermac designs, but this one I don't like very much. This is 5. This sucks. I hate this. Again, it's very ninja-like, but he's got his bloody hair out. And he looks weird. A lot of this looks weird. This is obviously from Armageddon, but this is the same secondary that he has in Deception. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. Yeah, this is the 4. 4. I don't like this. This is it. This is some good Ermac. I wish he had a little bit more red in his design. I wish his primary color was red over the black. Maybe not on his head though. I think the head should still be black. I think the wraps on his head should still be black. I like his eyes. I like his like orb at his belt. I actually like the belt accoutrement this time. I like his little wrap on his wrists that kind of dangles. I like that a lot, actually. He looks evil, which I like. And he's got the pointy shoulders. Again, this is really good. Oh, how high do I give this? I think both of Ermac's Mortal Kombat 9 ones are really good. And it's still got that same kind of like central core pattern that the Deception one has, but this one's just way better. It's not baggy. It still looks like he could be a ninja. He's still got the toe thing. He still looks like he could be a ninja, but he also looks like a sorcerer. It looks like they've kind of found the proper middle ground to that here, and he looks pretty cool. I'd say this is an 8.5. This is damn good. And then this one, it's also really good. There's a lot more red in it. I like the mask a lot. I'd be willing to give this one a 9. I like this one a little more. Or do I? I think the hood works for him. No, this one's also an 8.5. I don't know if I go so far as to say it's a 9. I don't know if it's better than the other one. I think they're both really good. A lot more red in it. The black is a lot darker. He's still got his weird like gold thing on the back of him. Maybe it's like a sorcerer logo. I don't know what that is. Some sort of logo or something. And again, he's still got some of those design elements of that pattern that he had from Deception, but his mask is now got a little bit more going on. It's a ninja mask more so now than just wrap. I like this one a lot. Yeah, it's also an 8.5. This one's really good. I don't really like Ermac's design in Mortal Kombat X. I don't know if that's a hot take. This is where they really lean into that mummy thing that I don't like. I don't love this. It's too much of his face showing, his weird mummy face. I think a lot of the rest of the design is okay, but I don't think I can give it higher than a 6. I don't like it very much. I don't like it very much. I think the rest of his designs I'm just going to speed through. This one sucks. This is a 5. I hate this. It sucks. There's too much of his weird body showing, his weird wrinkly, corpsey body. Looks bad. 5. Ugh. This one's a 3. It's a 3. They decided, yeah, we're really leaning into the mummy thing here now. Sucks. It's a 3. Don't like that. Mortal Kombat 11. Ermac. I mean, this is, technically speaking, he's obviously not playable in Mortal Kombat X, but they made the new design for him. He appears in the crypt, I believe. I think he looks pretty cool. He's a little over-designed. I don't know why he's got this Eye of Agamotto on him. I think the red on his arms looks cool. I think this is a 7.5. It's pretty good. Nowhere near as good as the other ones. It's a 7.5. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I think if we could see it in motion, might be a little... It might... in proper motion, not just falling to his death. It might be a little easier to gauge, but I think, yeah, 7.5 is pretty good. Pretty good. There's better ways. There's better ways. But yeah, I think in terms of bridging the gap between Sorcerer and Mummy, it's very similar in elements to the second Ermac. But yeah, I think it's very similar in elements to the second Ermac. It's just a little over designed. I think it's a 7.5. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's close. You know, it's an 8. It's an 8. It's a little over designed. It's nowhere near as good. It's not that it's nowhere near as good. It's not quite as good as the other ones. It's still got bits of that mummy stuff in there, and he's got this weird like X across his mouth. And the mask, the ninja mask, is cool, and his hood is cool. He's got like a second hood though at the back, which is weird. It's a little over designed though. Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. I forgot about Mortal Kombat 1 Ermac. I did not include that. Hang on, I'll go get it. Alright. We're just looking at him here. I don't think there's much to be said other than this is really bad. This is really bad. They decided, you know what? Mortal Kombat X wasn't mummy enough. Mortal Kombat X wasn't mummy enough. The previous mummy designs we did weren't mummy enough. Mortal Kombat 9? Hell no. We're not going for anything like that. We're going full mummy. We're gonna have more of his weird little gut showing, like in the Pharaoh design. That Pharaoh design, that was our favorite. We love that one. We'll go with something like that. We're gonna give him these big bulky things on his arms. Those things that I hate. I mean, presumably, let's put it this way. Presumably, you're gonna be able to give him a ninja mask. You're probably gonna be able to give him a ninja mask. Probably, I would not be surprised if you could give him a ninja mask. However, this is the default that they're showing us right now. It's not bad. Did I just say it's not bad? It's not good. It's not good is what I meant to say. Don't lynch me. I could hear the mob approaching there. But yeah, it's not good. It's not good. I don't like it very much. Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Okay, back to your usually scheduled programming. Rain. Rain's our next one. Purple Ninja. Spooky Hands. Whatever I gave the generic ninjas before. So, Rain didn't show up again until Armageddon. Seemingly. I couldn't find any verifiable sources that he showed up until Armageddon again. I think he's a little over-designed. He's not got very much purple on him. He's very muted, he's very minimal on the purple. His patterning on his purple robe is a little weird looking. They wanted to go for the regal thing, because he's supposed to be prince and all this stuff, and so they gave him this kind of like chunky thing. They gone for the veil again. I hate the veil. I hate the veil. His hair is alright. His hair's alright. Yeah, actually, his hair's alright. His collar's kind of cool. It's a 6. It's a 6. I think it's okay. I don't like this. It's also hard to say because this is a really, really not good visual. I think it's from like some like weird crappy port of Armageddon. 5. It's not dramatically worse, but it's not very good either. I think this is pretty decent. Mortal Kombat 9 one. It's very brown. There's a lot of brown on it. The gold and stuff that he has is very muted. Also, like his trousers are tight at the crotch and the ass. Because look at how tight it is at the crotch and the ass. So much. It's like there's so much force being brought in there. It's like all wrinkling around that. It's like impossible to not notice. Again, they're going with the veil once more. I think his purple could stand to be a little brighter, a little bit more obvious. I think this one's also a 6. It's kind of just the same idea as his Armageddon one, without the little cape. It's kind of the same thing. It's a 6, I think. Yeah, it's a 6. Mortal Kombat X Rain. I forgot about this one. I think this is a lot better. I think this is like an 8. He's not playable, obviously, but yeah, he's got a design. I mean, if you mod the game, you can play him. But yeah, he's got weird anchor on his mask. I don't know why he got that. He looks very regal, but also in a kind of like a weird way. He's very naked. I think it's an 8. 7.5. 7.5. Feels fair. Say 7.5. It's pretty good. Pretty good. His hair is a little weird looking there in that picture. I think it might just be the picture. I think it's 7.5. 7.5. I like that. I like it well enough. Mortal Kombat 11 Rain. He's a bit over-designed. I'm saying it a lot tonight. He's a bit over-designed. Yeah. I think it looks pretty cool, though. I think this one... I'd be willing to say 8 for this one. It's pretty good, but it is a little over-designed. I think it's maybe better. I'd prefer this to... I'd prefer this to what do you call it? To thingy to Mortal Kombat 11's Ermac. I prefer this a little bit, even though it's very over-designed in a similar way. It's an 8. I think it's pretty good. There's a lot going on. Lots of gold, lots of... Again, they got the regal thing down because of the purple rain. And the kind of, the fact that purple is a very regal color and the golds and all this stuff and the inlays. But I think it's a little much. It's a little much. Right. So, Mortal Kombat 1 Rain. He's a wizard now, but he's still got the ninja mask, and he's got a hood this time. I think it's a 7.5. I don't know that I like it as much as Mortal Kombat 11 Rain. I like the cape. I like the kind of the yellow piece. I think it disperses the colors nicely. I like all his different shades of purple. They work well together, but he does have a lot of colors the more I'm looking at it. His arms are quite bare. I think 7.5 feels fair. I like it well enough. Again, I like this little cross-hatching on his trousers. They really do like their cross-hatching in these games. I actually didn't notice that there's a pattern on his cape. There is a slight pattern, like a swirly pattern. That's pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, I think this is a 7.5. It's pretty good. Pretty good. A lot going on, though. Alright. Tanya. I forgot that we had to do Tanya. We've got a few different Tanyas to do as well. Okay. Tanya Mortal Kombat 4. It's a 4. That's a 5. It's a little bit better than Kitana's one, I think. A little bit better. I think the yellow and the black work well together. But this is one of those things where it's like, oh, well, the dark skinned character, what color do we give them? Yellow. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird design commonality. You'll notice it if you didn't know it before. You'll notice it now. In fact, most dark-skinned characters, if you're gonna give them a color in their design, it's usually yellow. That's what most people do, anyways. It's a very, very common design thing. It's yellow and black. Those are the ones that you usually give them. It's 5. It's all right. It's not bad, but she's, again, the fact that she's a ninja, she doesn't have. I mean, she counts as a ninja according to the wiki. Takeda also counts as a ninja as well. He does have a ninja mask though, but we're not doing Takeda. We don't have the time. It should suffice to say that I think his design is okay. I'm not gonna bother rating it. It's okay. It's a little over-designed. Yeah, Tanya, 5. It's alright. This is Deadly Alliance, I think. Deadly Alliance or Deception. Both of the next two are the same game. The hair, I don't mind. It's a lot. It's not as overtly horny as some of the other ones. The boots are bad. They don't fit at all. I'm willing to say it's a little better than our previous one. I'll say that it's a 5.5. It's only a little better though. The sash is a little odd. It doesn't quite. Yeah, her weird little skirt sash thing. It's weird. Yeah, no, it's the fact that this glove and yeah, there's this there's weird asymmetry in the design. Yeah, no, it's a 5.5. Again, the cross hatching, goddammit. Right, this one I actually like a lot more. This one's a lot better, even though the boots are still a little ill-fitting. I think this one would be a 6.5. This one's a full number increase, but she's still got the weird asymmetrical arm stuff, that weird sleeve, and then a glove and a elbow pad. That's a 7.5. It's pretty good. I like the hair a little bit more as well. This design, what do we think of this one? I think it's also a 7.5. I think it's actually about the same. She's got the same weird sash thing that she had in the other design. Her Mortal Kombat X design. I like the white eyes well enough. I mean, she had white eyes in the previous ones, didn't she? Yeah. Well, she only started getting them in Deadly Alliance or Deception, or whichever game that was. Obviously she has the same designs in Armageddon. I checked. I like the trousers. I think the weird skirt sash thing, though, doesn't quite work for me. I think it is a 7.5. Yeah, I think it's about the same. I don't like the hair as much. I don't like the hair all that much. This is her new design in Mortal Kombat 1. I think that this is Tanya's first or third 7.5. It's okay. I don't love it. I appreciate that they made her a little older. I don't fully understand what her weapon is. to be perfectly honest with you. The weird, like, kind of like 3-bar thing. I don't fully understand what that is. I think her hair looks cool. I think the little tiara thing is alright. Her little, yeah, headpiece. It's alright. It's a little distracting. It catches the light a little too much, I think, for my liking. There's a few too many colors going on. The black in her design is very washed out. It's very grey. I think it should be darker. Same way her yellow is very washed out. Yeah, I think this one's also a 7.5. It's very washed out colors here. I think it could stand to have some more vivid colors. I think that's probably part of the problem here. It's a 7.5. It's solid. It's a solid design. Who do we have next? Next we have Frost. I feel no one way or the other about this. This is a bam 5. Straight down the middle. I feel no way or the other about this. It is just Sub-Zero but female with weird frosty hair. Yeah. It is just the same thing, more or less. It is a 5. Hard 5. Straight down the middle. I don't really feel any which way about this. I don't love the fact that her robe like sticks up so much. It's also very thin. I kind of wish the robe was a little thicker. What do we got next? Jesus. Alright, well, they traded in the ninja for, we're doing the horny thing again. Yeah. The blue lipstick. I think this one's a 3. It's a 3. It's just... how many different flavors of horny do you need? That's the kind of feeling I get here. Every female character is there for eye candy. And nothing else. There's nothing else going on. This is a 3. This one's one of the more lazy ones, I think. Mortal Kombat 11 Frost. I also don't really like this either. I just kind of don't like Frost. Again, I don't love whenever ninjas have their hair sticking out. The blue hair looks a little better than the white hair, though. Or does it? Do I like that more? She's also a cyborg ninja here, technically. I think I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't love the kind of the Time Warriors design. I don't love the kind of the Chronica design elements. There's a lot going on. Like, there's a lot of elements here, a lot of different patterns going on, and like different colors and all this stuff. I don't like it. I think it's a 6. I think it's a 6. I don't think Frost has really any good designs. Yeah, it's about a 6. I don't love this. It's okay though. It's really not bad. Skarlet, her first technical appearance in Mortal Kombat 9. I don't feel too strongly about this. I don't like the fact that her mask comes down into this like weird like puddle thing on her neck. That's what it looks like. Shoulder pads. It's just a bra with shoulder pads. I don't know why it's that. This is definitely... It's a 5. It's a 5. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I don't love it. Yeah, and I don't love it. It's a 5, I would say. Yeah, it's a 5. Easy to say this one's a 5. There's just not enough going on. It's so plain. It's just like, yeah, here's another horny ninja character. But this one's red, and she's got red hair. Okay, alright, fine. It's just plain, it's a 5. And then we get the polar opposite. I kind of prefer the story one a little bit more. I don't have that one up here. I'd say the story one's probably maybe a 7.5. Or no, this one's probably a 7.5. I think that one's an 8. It's pretty decent, the story one. I like whenever... I think I prefer the hair being out. I think it disperses the colors nicer than the headpiece here. I don't like the goggles. I think the goggles don't work. I like the mask, though. I like the mask well enough. I like the mask. I think the dagger works better than her little swords that she had before. I think the idea that they have here of all the pouches that have like, oh, there's dialysis kits and all this stuff in there and like blood transfusion kits, I think it's interesting. Why does she need it? She can just cut the person and then pull the blood out of them with her blood magic. I don't think the blood transfusion kits are necessarily needed. It feels a little weird. It's also one of the few characters where I think not having gloves looks fine. Whenever, well, I think it's also because she's completely covered up in the arms. I think this one's alright. I think this one's maybe a 7.5. The other one I think is an 8. I don't have it here. I actually like the cape. Oh, maybe they're both an 8. Maybe they're both an 8. I just don't like. I don't like bits of this. I don't like this whole headpiece. I kind of wish the hair was out, and that would be. I think I'd be more comfortable giving it an 8 if it had the hair. But otherwise, it is a 7.5. I think. I like again. I think the hair would disperse the red a little nicer. And also, this red is a slightly different color than the rest of it. The rest of it is a very deep red, a blood red, if you will. No, I like this well enough. It's a 7.5. Now we've got Tremor. I don't really feel very strongly about Tremor. This is his only appearance. He's, according to leaks, going to be maybe DLC, or I think those are rumors, to be honest with you. He might be DLC or something for Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 seems to be the primary goal is get all the ninjas in one game, which, you know, is fair enough. The variations of Tremor do have slightly different stuff in them, but I think this is the best looking one. I think a lot of his other ones, like the one which has the glossy rocks, then the one which has like the rainbowy ones, like that kind of like oil, not oil, I don't know, the kind of like the bioluminescent rock kind of look. I don't think either of those look very good. I think I prefer this one with the mask. Again, he does look like, well, if you're just taking his head, he does look like a ninja in that sense. There's technically other versions of him because he was in Special Forces, and he technically appears in Mortal Kombat 11 because he's one of the ninjas who can fall off. Same with Reptile, but they just have their classic designs. So both, Tremor and the other ones just have their classic designs. So he's just a normal ninja but with brown in there. Not ranking Chameleon. Chameleon sucks. But yeah, Tremor. I don't feel too strongly about Tremor. I think I'm gonna give him 6. I think 6 is probably the thing I gave the most. Giving 6 is pretty willy-nilly here. I think it is a 6 though. I think he's a 6. Maybe a 6.5. Maybe I'll be a little bit generous and give him a 6.5. I don't know what it is about the metallic flap at the front that really does not sit well with me. I like his belt though. His belt looks pretty cool. Even though there's a lot of buckles. Again, he's got the belts on the shoulders. It's Mortal Kombat X. It's all belts all the time. He's very muted in his colors as well. Again, his color is brown. So it's a case of where it's the kind of name of the game. The whole color of Mortal Kombat X is brown because it's so washed out. But yeah, I think he's alright. I think he's a 6.5. I don't much care either way for Tremor. I think he's got cool eyes. Idea is interesting. 6.5. But with that said, I think that is us. I think I've gone through all of these goddamn ninjas, more or less. But yeah, I couldn't say what my favorite is. I didn't give any 10s. I'm very frugal about my 10s. I only give 10s if I'm really impressed with them. I really liked some of Ermac's ones, some of Ermac's Mortal Kombat 9 ones. I liked some of these, they were good. I liked Noob Saibot's ones, they were pretty good. But yeah, I think overall there's some pretty good ones in here. Smoke, this design, great, not the long hair one. Some of these are pretty good. Yeah, I think Scorpion has some cool designs, although I don't love Scorpion all that much. I would say Scorpion's best design is easily Mortal Kombat 11. I think a lot of the characters, their best designs are Mortal Kombat 11. Or from Reptile. Reptile's best design is Mortal Kombat 1. Best design in a long time. I'd say, yeah, maybe I need longer to think about it, but I think it's probably his best design is Mortal Kombat 1. It's the same way I would largely say. I would largely say that, yeah, Sub-Zero, my personal favorite is the Shredder one. I think the Shredder one looks really cool. I know it's not for everybody, but the besides that, I'd maybe say you could probably approximate a Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 11, which I like, through the headband and maybe the mask. I might like one of those more than the default Sub-Zero. Ermac has some great ones. Mortal Kombat 9 Smoke, great ones. Mortal Kombat 9. Kitana, I would say probably Mortal Kombat 1 is my favourite of Kitana's. I really like Mileena's Mortal Kombat X design. I think Tanya is kind of a lot of ties with Tanya. I don't love most of Tanya's. Tremor only really has the one design. I'm just kind of trying to go over them in my head now. Yeah, I think more or less I got all of them. Went through all of them for the most part. Yeah, I'm happy with that. This was fun. It was 2 hours and 47 minutes. I might cut that down a little bit. I might try and truncate this if I can, but in the same sense, you might get a 2.5 hour long video. But yeah, I enjoyed this well enough. I might try and do more of these. It's fun to not have to be super active during one of these. I just get to ramble for a little while. I didn't script this in any way. So yeah, that's why I kept trailing off at certain points, and that's why I spent a lot more time on the start of it than I did in the last ones. Mostly because I've had more to say about the first ones, because there's a little bit more change going on between Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kitana, Mileena, and Reptile, especially. Like some of them float around quite a bit. Like, I mean, Ermac has some wild variations in his designs, but yeah. Anyways, I will wrap up and that'll be us. Hopefully the fan noise has been mostly muted for the video. If there was a little bit of it, I'm sorry. Nothing I can really do about it now. Now that you're watching the video, nothing I can really do about it. But yeah, I think I should be able to get rid of it more or less. Again, I needed it on. It is so hot in here right now that it feels like summer, even though it's, September. But yeah, I'll wrap up and then I will leave you. So, if you like the video, do whatever it is you'd normally do, because I'm just going to do the art show outro. If you'd like to subscribe, same deal. You know where the button is, presumably. So if you'd like to hit the subscribe button, I would be very happy. But if you choose not to, that is fine. And yeah, I'm doing the same thing I did before. If you choose to watch the next video, I will see you next time. But with all that said, that is us. I remembered it a lot faster this time. I don't have to cut anything. But yeah, with all that said, I will say goodbye and then I'll leave you. So, bye-bye.